raw dog.
Because I'm worth it.
Yeah.
Welcome to a scoff stream where Wicked is literally just I'm not pressing anything, it's not my stream. People are like, oh, you're late. I didn't know the confirmation buttons exist. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. The buttons are all over the place, and Wicked's in Japan. She's going to lie to you about it and say she isn't. But I think that's all part of the thing. I actually think Wicked has eloped with X-Ray Girl. And they will... It's the only thing that could take them both off the screen at the same time. That, or something worse. But I'm not going to come up with that conspiracy theory until Wicked has left and won't lynch me.
What would be worse? Okay,
So,
we'll wait for her.
I'm gonna need you to watch these boys, okay? I'm leaving in like 30 minutes. Disbrew is hosting for the first time. I expect Dan to keep them in check, but I don't know. It might turn into a poop talk
Dan
stream. I have
keeping
no
us
idea
in
what's
check?
gonna
We'll
happen.
behave. We always behave very well.
That's why
Just because we're going to talk about the boys doesn't mean we have to...
pick Dan and Mike, because I was like, yeah, they'll keep Disbrew in check. And then I'm gonna watch it back tomorrow and be like, they did not, in fact.
I was going to say,
Won't make
you
me
haven't
worse.
watched me and Disbrew stream together, have you? Like we just feed off each other. It's like a really bad feedback loop of whatever nonsense we get into.
I'll take care of them, Wicked. I'll take care of them.
I trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about time that Disbrew got to, he's always got so much estrogen on this stream. Dan, I can see you.
Just from me.
Oh, sorry.
But Disbrew
I had something in my eye. Oh.
Totally
Pretty wild. Lesbianism is the thing that we had to. That's how we cleared out all the women. That may be the key.
Well...
Just start
Lesbianism is the key.
We just start spreading lesbianism and all like the Karens and all that stuff. They're just too busy like fighting with each other and going to Japan for trips. You know?
Wow. Aren't there lesbian Karens?
Yeah, but
the political lesbians.
But they're rare. They're more rare.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they fail. But there was maybe 10
They feel
years
at
ago
being lesbians or at being Karens?
at being lesbians, because they weren't actually. They were just normal, like, straight women who, because they hated men so much, just went, oh, I'm going to go after women now.
Yeah.
And they found out it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they weren't very good at it.
While
My
we're
wife's
talking
here, but
about
I'm not-
lesbian,
What?
she's talking about her wife or something. What's going on?
Yes.
Yeah, my wife's here. I'm not highlighting anything because I'm letting Disbrew do everything. I'm just here watching in the back.
If you click,
I'm supposed to highlight the chat at the same time.
yes.
Disbrew's like, well, how do you do this?
Yeah, next time I'll
much.
make sure I get the info to be able to do this so I can help out with Disbrew. But
No, I
think
won't lose my channel. Disbrew knows. All these guys know what to do. They
oh, it's
No,
more
I
like
think
the
he was on
pressure of
about-
having to manage
Yeah, I think
the
he was on
chat.
about highlighting chats, whereas I focus on the other stuff. Because
Yeah.
I have been raiding topics that they won't allow me to talk about. Which means I went on the Mary Sue and found the most recent bizarre articles that the Mary Sue has posted, including the 10 most freaky monsters which are strangely erotic.
There's no going wrong with Mary Sue. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
Wicked is already regretting the choice. But the moment you find out one of them is Pirates of the Caribbean with the weird tentacles under his face, it goes to strange places.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe
Kenneth
you.
Stevens says, "Can I marry Wicked and X-Ray Girl?" No, it's like a lesbian cabal. They only marry each other, and eventually, like in The Last of Us with like the Rat King, where like, there'll be like the lesbian king, and it'll just be like, how many women does it take to make one man?
The lesbian king.
Yeah,
Okay.
She's always like, sorry I went to Japan, this is going to be a disaster.
yeah.
We
Form
lost
of
her to the deers.
a single male, and it's like they just like form arms and legs, and yeah. If you put enough of them together, they have the proportional strength of a single man, and they can open the pickle jars themselves.
That's always been one of
Those are
the...
hard to open.
Years back in PC Gamer, there was an idea for a superhero called Man, who had the strength of exactly one man.
Hell yeah.
And it was like, stopping crime is no problem as I call the police. It was like, I can pick up reasonably weighted objects with no strain.
I can see that's like, it's a man who was bitten by a radioactive man. Now he has the
just
strength
another man.
and the speed and the intelligence of one man.
Wait, is that how Dan was made? He was bit by another man?
I am man.
Everything in Brazil is radioactive, so.
Yes. Yeah.
Rachel the Radiant says I can open a pickle jar.
Oh.
Singularity's been reached. Like,
Oh, man.
yeah. Or
Is
what,
she
what
the
you don't,
women man?
what you guys don't realize. Oh, this stream's gonna go so bad already. I can tell.
Don't
It's
say
like
that, Mike. Wait till I leave at least.
Yeah, if forever. Well, you need
It
to know
might
how
do,
this
because
works.
my entire Chrome is just frozen the moment I tried to share a tab and took like half an hour to come up. I'll have to end the other browser.
This is so Wicked understands this too. Any women that can open a pickle jar, it's because a man sneaks into your house at night and loosens the jars for you, and then he sneaks back out. It's probably man that's doing that.
So you can feel better.
So you can feel better. It's like Santa Claus, but for female egos. Yeah.
Exactly. Santa Claus. Yeah.
So
in fact, it might be Santa Claus himself who does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got like a whole 365 days
Yeah.
where he's not doing anything.
So like, if you ask yourself, what does Santa do when it's not Christmas? That's what he does.
So my entire task manager is locked up.
What?
So, yeah, I may be hosting the stream. I have no control over my own computer at this point.
Uh-oh.
So I am glad Wicked is here.
Wicked, if push comes to shove, if you need me to just send me the info and I can, I guess I can log in if I need to or something.
What does send me the info means? Like, just teach me how to do it.
No, you can actually log in. Like, you can link your accounts and log in.
Okay. But you know how to do it.
But there's also maybe, I don't know if you're just having issues sharing your own screen to Sprue. Maybe if you send it to Mike and he can pull it up and you can just share his screen.
The issue is the moment I click share screen on Chrome, it takes half an hour to pop up with the actual.
I use Brave. I don't know if it's Chrome. I don't know. Everyone has their personal preference, but
I use Brave. I used to use Opera GX, which is Chinese spyware, because I don't care what the Chinese steal from me. But then somebody was like Brave, so.
I think it's best if I restart my computer before you leave, and then
before
my entire browser is now frozen, so I think I definitely need to restart.
Yeah, go for it. I'll try to catch up on supers before you get back.
Well, I can't actually leave at the moment because it's frozen.
He's just stuck here in the.
Oh man!
He's I guess I'll just be here until and then he just would disappear at some point. I respect that. Yeah,
but yeah, I've been meaning to change from Chrome to Brave, but I really dislike change. But what really what really sold me on Brave is to turn off YouTube Shorts. The ability to turn off YouTube Shorts. And
then the built-in
I'm gonna do it.
Ad blocker is huge, because GX has an ad blocker, or Opera GX does, but the problem with Opera GX is it also eventually when they patch their stuff, the ad blockers started getting noticed, and so when you go to websites, they're like, "Oh, you're blocking ads." I don't know if that's okay, and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, well, one of the things about this that I liked doesn't work. The other thing I liked about Opera GX is you can throttle how much software it uses. Okay, Disprove just disappeared on us. You can throttle how much it uses, your GPU and stuff. But that's fine and dandy. But Brave kind of does the same thing now. So Brave is the best browser I've used so far. I didn't like the change because I lost all my tabs, but yeah.
I'm going to give an opinion about ad blockers, and you guys tell me what you guys think of what I think.
Yeah.
I don't like ad blockers too much. Of course, I use it as everybody else, but I use it on... Yeah. It looks like he's holding a lightsaber.
Yeah.
I use ad blockers when it's when it feels really abusive and starts to take away from the experience of whatever it is that I'm trying to do. But in general, I don't like ad blockers because we get a bunch of free stuff because of ads. So it's sort of what keeps the internet going. So I make money from ads. So it's like, hey, if the only currency that I can offer for this free stuff that I'm consuming, it's a little bit of my attention. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I agree with that. I remember PewDiePie talking about this on a video years ago that like he doesn't have premium for like YouTube. He won't use ad blockers because he wants his fellow YouTubers to get the revenue. Um,
Uh-huh.
and it's understandable, but I also get people don't like
No,
ads.
but that's not how premium works.
Well, no, I'm saying he doesn't have premium. So if you do have premium, you don't get ads. But like if
No,
you don't,
yeah. Yeah,
then
but
you
it's
do.
like when you have premium and you don't get shown ads. Let's say I watch Epic Mike. It's the only channel that I watch, and I have premium, and I don't see ads on Epic Mike's channel. But there's a certain percentage that of the money that I pay on YouTube Premium. I forget what it is exactly, but that percentage goes to the creators that I watch. So if I watch Epic Mike and I don't see ads because I have premium, part of what I pay from premium goes to Mike. I don't know if I'm, I don't know if I'm being clear, but it's like Mike doesn't lose money if I have premium and watch his channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like basically they're like, hey, because you're paying for this thing, like we're going to make sure that we take care of the people that you're watching.
Yeah. Because some people think, oh, if I pay premium, my money is going to YouTube and not to the streamers or the creators. That's not true. Part of the money that I pay for premium goes to the channels that I watch, specifically the ones that I watch.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, like as a live streamer, most of my money comes from like super chats and direct donations. So I don't, I don't have a lot of like experience. Now I will say, like, I posted a video not that long ago and like saw the difference in like ad revenue, and I was like, okay, I can see how you can make a living doing ad revenue videos. Like I could see it right away just from one video doing somewhat decently well on my channel, that you can for sure do that.
That's how I managed to not post videos. Like you combine that with the ability to create evergreen content, and so like you have ads running on evergreen stuff, like you have a passive source of income.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. You guys definitely stream more than post videos. I'm curious. Have you guys ever? I don't even know if you guys have that number on the top of your heads. Do you guys know the percentage of your income that comes from ads?
Yes.
Compared to what comes from super chats and donations?
Yep, it does. It separates. And also, does this sound
there we
any
go.
better? I turned my gain up a little bit. I know I was low. I'm not going to.
Yeah, you sound good.
The whole time. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So what are you guys comfortable with telling me?
I think like 2% of my money comes from ads.
2%.
Yeah, mine's pretty low. When you go live, it's mostly super chats and all that. But yeah,
Well,
I could see like when you just do videos. It's
That's
definitely
very
higher.
interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
it's the majority
because-
for me because I do streams.
Peru has a different. He doesn't go live, so he's.
Yeah, well, because the other thing too is like when you do like videos on like if I do a 3-hour live stream, people rewatching that are probably not going to watch 3 hours. They're going to watch like parts of it or skip through it, and so that doesn't look good to YouTube because they're like, oh, they're just skipping through the video. So like I'm not going to get the same kind of like response. Like now, who was it? Moist Critical. He broke it down one time. He made more money on his video on demand than he did on his live stream from YouTube. He made, because he was like
What
the amount of
this topic?
Dan asked
I don't
us about
remember.
it.
Oh, we were
Dan
talking
asked
about
about it.
ads.
No
we
one-
were
one-
talking about ads.
No one in the audience cares about the back end of YouTube.
Well, Dan asked about it.
This is something that
Dan just had a question. We were talking.
Yeah,
about
it's like-
Raven, and it just went off.
Sorry. I
You
forgot
just-
what
Yeah, it's
it
like
was.
back end.
2%
about
or
to
something.
take my shirt off.
Yeah.
It's like-
Well, no, dude. Yeah, if you're gonna be here, just do that.
that is a work meeting. That is exactly what everyone else is.
It's actually
yeah,
less than it's 0.1%.
That's crazy. That's very interesting.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I've wanted to do this stream today because this is all about when we finally kick Wicked out of the stream. I want to seize back American property for the British Empire, largely because apparently my entire country is about to die.
That's bad.
As you can see from the half of the country has been wiped out by heat. Molten lava has been poured on us, which admittedly has wiped out London. And it turns out it's going to be an astonishing 27 degrees. So we are all
Celsius?
Celsius.
Is that
What would
warm?
that be in F? So double it and add 30 would be what,
No
50,
idea.
like 84 or something.
Bro,
And that-
27 is super comfortable in Brazil, man. 27
Well-
Celsius.
Over here,
Yeah,
we're all
that's
going to
good
get
in Florida,
wiped out
too.
and die.
Okay, let me see here. Hold on. Let me. Okay,
Florida's
Celsius.
for
How
real,
many?
like, he was just,
27.
like, assaulted by the
27.
sun the entire time he was outside in Florida.
Yeah. So you said 27. That's 80 degrees.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. No, it isn't.
Well, for-
Apparently, we're all
okay.
going to die.
He said,
For-
no, it isn't.
That is
80
wiping
degrees
out
is
half
not
the
nice.
country.
Yeah, 80 degrees is not nice. People that live in Florida, where it's hot and sticky and miserable,
It's
it
humid.
probably is nice to you guys because then it gets up to like 100 something. Okay, where I live, like 100 degrees is very rare. It is not normal. Okay, 80 degrees is too warm. It's just too warm. If I have to, if I walk outside,
can't handle 80 degrees.
if I step outside, and if I walk for 5 minutes and my balls are sweaty, it's too warm. That's the problem.
80
Like-
So
degrees.
this is what the stream's gonna look like with me gone. I got it.
I'm
Well,
just saying.
27
That is.
Celsius, 80 degrees is like
That's
it's like
amazing.
a Brazilian fall. What the fuck?
Brazilian
is this?
fall.
Yeah.
That is, look, when people are hot, they get shrunk in the wash. That happened to Elliot Page, all right? Is now playing Mandalorian and Grogu
Jesus.
specifically.
And she's so happy about it.
Well,
Look.
the problem too is
Would be
the
getting
humidity.
held, like wet. Like, can you imagine like getting held by Pedro Pascal? I am against, by the way, the title of this stream. I was not asked whether it should be called the Dadalorian.
the Dadalorian.
That
you
was
don't like my
wicked.
stream title? You can change it if you want.
Yeah, but yeah, people are gonna join and see 3 dudes on the stream and say, "Wow, they're gay." Look how
Yeah.
they named that stream.
They're like, this show's really falling off.
bunch of
Well, you have the
figs.
keys now, Disparu. You can change the Mandalorian title part if you want.
No. So what happens if does that add the same thing? Yeah, it does. I have to reclose everything and reshare everything. That is awful.
Oh yeah.
You
But,
want to
like,
try to
I-
do a couple supers before I leave, Disparu?
What's that?
Would you
This,
like me
the
to read
next thing is
super chats?
amazing. Someone has been listening to me. They have heard my terrible ideas and like, no, that's a
brother
serious
knows
business
nothing,
opportunity.
Oh,
Do you? Yeah, Disper. Do you want me to like? If you highlight them, I can read them. Do you want me to do that?
I mean, I can read. I have the ability.
I believe that.
being
It's
a
just
bro.
you're putting
And you
more
are-
on yourself to have to handle all
be
of
nice.
this.
Has Wicked read one? 'Cause-
No, because we were talking about stuff.
No, but
Yeah,
there
Dan
was
started
one that
asking
was
about ad revenue.
there was one that was here at the start, which is no longer here.
The one from Schick? It should be at the beginning. This one?
No, it's not.
Megatron?
Okay, I don't have that
Oh, okay.
at either
Well,
end.
Oh, you know what? Because you highlighted it before we started, and maybe you accidentally unstarted. Do you have? The
Well,
second
now
one from
that's
Schick?
gone as well. The one you just didn't
Well, I
figure
can,
out.
yeah, Chick74 for 199 says Megatron. Boom.
Yeah, that was the first one, and then the rest are all. It's all there.
Okay, so
She's like a really encouraging mother. She's like,
what she
don't
did
just
before we
do
went
it.
on stream, she went, I'm not pushing any of the buttons.
It's
I've just been
okay.
here watching you all.
you guys are doing just fine.
But Cajun Corey for $5. Why couldn't the jalapeno practice archery? Because it didn't habanero. Or
Okay, Cajun Corey's banned permanently from chat forever.
But also, you missed.
oh,
one.
habanero. Oh,
How about? Oh,
You missed one more, Disparu, and then
Bam.
I
That
one
stopped
didn't exist
helping.
either. Like,
Shit,
this
for
is not in my list.
$1.99? Who wants to read it?
You should all sing Baby Shark in honor of Miki. No, you're permanently banned as well. I don't have that power, but if I did,
Yeah,
banned.
you do.
consider
I do?
yourself
Okay.
morally banned.
Yeah, consider yourself pre-banned until I get mod status, and then you're out.
So does that take us all up to Cajun Corey? Because Cajun is the
Yes.
first one I have.
Now you're all caught
Okay.
up. After
She's
Corey's
so,
share, the new one.
dude. She's so nice.
She has that
She's done it to
kindergarten
teacher mode.
teacher.
Well, I was a preschool teacher at one point, so I'm very patient.
Oh, that
It's like,
makes
now
so
tell
much
everyone
sense.
that you're sorry.
I love
That makes
kids.
so much
It's like when we
sense.
I love
played-
my children.
we played, what was it, Phasmophobia or whatever, and then or Demonologist, and then I kept taking the pills, and I took all of them, and then she was like, Mike, what are you doing? And I was hiding in the corner, just taking all the pills, Yeah.
Like, you don't.
I
eat
watched
it,
Share-
your
it's
stream.
okay, Mike.
Share your drugs with your friends.
Well, I watched his stream for Demonologist. He didn't play the game properly. He guessed the monster, got it right, so he's never playing it again. That was the
Oh
stream.
no, that was Mortician's Assistant.
Oh, yeah,
I actually found 3 endings. I did the bad one, and then yes, the second one I totally guessed the ending.
That's
and
the one I saw.
Yeah, and then I found a 3rd secret ending that had just been added to the game like that day that nobody knew about, and I accidentally stumbled on it, and I was like, oh, this is like a whole thing, and people are like, what is this? And yeah, it was like a secret ending to the game. Yeah. Mortuary Assistant is literally the scariest game I've ever played, and I hate it with a passion.
Well, now it's going to be a movie, so
Yeah,
hopefully
they
it lives
did
up
make
to
a
the
movie.
game.
I don't want to. I don't want to
What
watch
is the
it.
scariest game I've ever played? I'm not sure. I was never able to replicate that feeling of playing Resident Evil 2 for the first time on the Nintendo 64. Nothing ever
Did you
did
ever-
that again. Yeah.
Did you ever play Thief 3?
I never play a Thief game.
Okay, so Thief 3 had an asylum level. It's the only horror level in the entire game, and they put everything into it.
I don't think I
It's
ever.
horrible.
I don't know if I played Thief 3. What did I play? I played Thief: The Dark Project. I played the original.
I think I played that demo, but not the game.
Yeah, Thief: The Dark Project is kind of impressive. The AI and stuff in that game is wildly impressive for the time, and like being able to like put out like you get like a water arrow and you can like put out yeah. Or like the moss arrow, you would like shoot a moss arrow on the ground in like areas that were like cobblestone so that your foot, like the padding of your feet were softer. Oh yeah, dude. The
It's
stealth mechanics in
Windows
that are pretty great.
XP era, right?
I think so. I think it was, what is it, 97?
Yeah, it was definitely Windows.
Then
not
it's Windows
DOS.
98.
1998. Yep.
Windows 98 then.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
cool.
Thief games were pretty rad, but
Yeah, it
Outlast
good
was
'cause you couldn't-
scary.
You couldn't fight your way out of anything. Well, you could fight your way out of one guy if you made a mistake, but not
Yes.
multiple.
No, yeah. Once like 2 or 3 guards showed up, you were gonna die. Like you could kill one guard if you were really careful. You also get like the blackjack, you just like knock out a guard. Like, but you also had the like that's the other thing. The placement of the blackjack mattered because if you hit them on top of the head, it would ring off their helmets and make noise, and they wouldn't get knocked unconscious. You had to actually hit them like in the back of the head, like where there aren't. Yeah.
Well, now you'd have yellow
yeah.
paint where you needed to hit. Just so
Oh yeah,
you're-
dude.
Yeah.
Or would like highlight it and tell them to hit it there.
But
sorry.
Donna Hall has gifted 1 Wicked Virtue membership. Thank you.
Shout out Donna.
Shout out Donna. She's the reason why the stream was put at the right time. She sent me a message. Oh
yeah.
Thanks, Donna.
Messaged her privately. L Jeffy 2099, member for 2 months. Ban Dan so he can finish Man Buns. He's clearly too distracted. That song will haunt you till the end of time.
Yeah.
No, but it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out. I'm not JRR. No. What's the fucking
Yeah,
name?
Dan
of
George
R.
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 R. Martin.
Dan
Dan
R.
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 Martin.
Martin. I'm not Dan R. R. Martin this.
I don't
It's
believe
gonna,
that.
No,
it's
you-
gonna come
you-
out for real before I die.
You'd have to at least triple in size before that was even beginning to
That's
be
true.
possible.
Yeah.
He's very
That,
fast.
that you know that guy's gonna finish those books, right? It's
Well,
gonna be.
I still think he's going to do Clitlit before he finishes any of the books. I think he's seen the sales, and we're going to get a George R. R. Martin milking farm before anything else.
I would,
Yeah.
yeah,
That would be
I
a
would
dream
respect him
this
for that.
brew.
With the way he was talking about those books, it was almost like he was a reader. He's like, oh, my agent keeps telling me about all the sales of those things, and you know, they make them more adult than my books.
I respect
Like a dirty old
the
man.
hustle. Yeah, I respect the hustle on it. Like, maybe I should just start making like Clitlick books.
Just
Just like
AI them, it'll be
Squirrel,
fine.
yeah, Squirrel Man, you know, and she's like, he's a squirrel and he's a savage, but she loves him. You know?
Are these thoughts that you have about Disparu in private? Squirrel Man?
And public.
Private.
Like, I know, it's like,
I'm sorry, this isn't
public
just the
now.
4 of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
wait till I leave chat. I'm telling you, I got like 5 minutes. You better watch these boys.
But SCBD for $5, Epic Thickums tax, Lurker tax, Lesbian hair tax, Dan Vascular tax. Pay your taxes, folk. Chat out free. Meek's here. The Meek Police is close behind.
This tax thing is out of control.
That was basically every single meme from your entire stream. Schick 74 for $1.99. Wicked will arrive to find she's demonetized only after I get to the Mary Sue stream. Eric Stratton for $20. Thank you. Love Wicked. Like Dan a lot. Bro friendly with Mike. I tolerate Disparu. It's all right. If you can tolerate me, you're still beating most people. Seriously, please ask Mike about how he's almost squashed flat as a real life lumberjack.
What's that about?
Did a tree fall on you?
I've never actually. I've had a tree fall on me before, but I've actually never been almost squished by one. So I've almost.
I'm sorry.
No,
you were squished by one because a tree actually fell.
It was a small tree. It was only like this big around. It gave me a concussion.
Okay.
So we were cutting
crazy.
it. So yeah, there's a thing. They're called widowmakers, and these are like a real thing with trees where they're dead at the top and they're alive at the bottom. And when you cut them, they'll split while you're cutting them, and the top will just fall on the guy cutting them. That happens way more than I probably like a lot of people probably realize. And this was essentially that, and I got very lucky because that could have actually killed me. But my buddy was cutting this really small dead tree, and it was like this big around at the bottom, and when he was cutting it, the whole top was dead, and it snapped off and landed right on top of my head, and I was a pretty safe distance away. And yeah, they said like I was standing like still, and my whole head like rotated like all the way around, and I woke up on the ground.
Crazy, man.
Yeah,
I had never had a concussion. How does it feel?
it's weird. It's very disorienting. So like everybody responds to it differently, and depending on however your brain works. Like now that I know I have like pretty bad ADHD, I know that my brain will keep running even if I'm not like in the driver's seat. And so they were like, I remember getting home. Like I remember walking up the steps to my house. I don't remember driving home. I don't remember leaving work. And they were like, yeah, you just kept telling us you're okay. You're okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And I got in the car and I drove home. And then, yeah, I definitely had a concussion though.
That's crazy. It's like Autopilot.
Yeah, I've had 3 in my lifetime. I've had that one.
They get worse each time. Once you have one, you're not supposed to keep going. Like
what?
Yeah, so
I would stop cutting down trees. Like,
well, it wasn't from trees. The first time.
Is that why you're the way you are?
Probably. Yeah,
that's
the first
why he's
time
low on the camera. They've slowly made him shrink down.
Yeah, well, that's actually because my chair keeps like slipping down. Yeah.
Look,
no,
I'm no one to talk about being low on the camera. I was like this for 2 years.
Right. Yeah. So the first concussion I ever got, me and my buddy were practicing wrestling moves. We used to do like put videos on YouTube of us like jumping off the roof and like putting each other through tables and stuff because we were really into wrestling.
Find those?
No, they're gone. He deleted them for reasons I can't get into. But
that's a shame.
We tried to do a move and we double clotheslined each other, and I landed directly on my head in the video, and I just didn't move. And when I woke up, it was like 3 hours later. I came to, but I was playing Metroid Prime on the GameCube, and I've been playing it for like 2.5 hours, and I don't remember any of it.
Man.
Yeah, I was
that
just
should be
sitting there
the
playing
intro to your channel. Is just you having your head smashed into the ground, and that's why I am how I am.
That this is how I got to the way I am.
This explains.
I have the video somewhere.
Origin story. Mickey's origin story. I've never even passed out in my entire life. No, I actually passed out for a few seconds. I had that sensation like of time advancing. That what you're describing. I was in school, trying to hold my breath as much as I could, and then I remember my head falling forward, and when I was aware again, it was like a few minutes later. It was like everybody was doing something else. They were paying attention to the class and stuff, and it was like, fuck.
It's very disorienting.
Advanced in time or something.
Yeah. I've only had it the other way around, where time slows down just as an accident is about to happen. Yep. And it feels like you've got all the time in the world, but you can't move.
Yeah.
I've had that
flashbulb memory. Apparently, though, it's notoriously bad. So they always say everyone remembers where they were when they found out something, and it's just wrong. Like, everything you remember about that moment is wrong.
Yes.
But you feel as if you remember everything in perfect detail. No, you just make it up.
You don't. Yeah, because your brain goes, take pertinent details, and it will like, We'll fix it in post, and there's no post. Your brain's just like, I don't know, I just made this up as we went.
There was a guy that was sure he was listening to like a certain like football game on the radio. He could tell you the score, he could tell you the players who were there. There was no football games on that date at all. But he can remember like perfectly.
Yeah,
what is the phenomenon that a bunch of people, like as a collective, have false memories.
It's mass hysteria. Yeah.
No, not necessarily
The
mass
Mandela
hysteria.
effect?
Mandela effect.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah. You're talking
where
about that.
everyone like logos and stuff. Everyone thinks
Yes.
that this thing was part of a
Yes.
logo and it wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck is like? Some people go put on the tinfoil hat and say this is proof of alternate dimensions, and that we,
Yes.
as
Yeah.
a collective, a lot of people have access to alternate dimensions, like, or at least the memories from their alternate selves. That's insane.
It is pretty insane. Yeah, that kind of stuff is pretty wild. And then my third concussion was from football. So, and that
That's
one wasn't.
crazy,
that was the
man.
least bad concussion, which is why helmets matter. Because
Shit.
I went to go tackle a guy and he went low at the same time, and so our helmets cracked. And I did pass out for like half a second, and I remember like, oh, I passed out. I probably have a concussion. And then I had like a little bit of a headache and stuff the rest of the day. That was the least bad one. The one that I fell on my head was the worst one. That was worse than the tree.
I like how
Now-
you were already so familiar with concussions. Oh, that's probably a concussion.
I didn't know at the
Yeah.
time, but later somebody explained it to me, and I was like, now that I can track where I was, or like kind of a little bit of what was going on, I definitely was concussed pretty bad. So
Well, now in the
crazy.
future, I'm going to gaslight Mike, and if he denies it, I'm going to say it was his concussion. And whenever he brings up me admitting
man.
this, I'm also going to say this is his
that
concussion.
never happened.
Remember,
I
I
don't-
lent
I-
you $100. It's like, no,
Yeah,
I don't
I don't-
remember. Oh, it's because you had a concussion.
From what I
man.
remember, I don't have a lot of false memories, but I run on autopilot. I can do it. Like I still today can do it, and I've talked about this on
That's not
stream
unusual,
before.
though. Like,
I-
I can walk to a place and not... Like, I'm in my own head during the way and can't remember getting there. 'cause
Well,
I've just
what I
been-
mean is like I'm not conscious at all. Like I've fallen asleep on stream and continued to stream for like a couple minutes, and I was asleep.
Oh, bro, in school
You've,
that
you've
would
seen
be
Limitless,
so useful.
right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so in Limitless, when he's coming down from the things, he starts missing time, but he's done all this stuff in the middle.
Yes,
So
that is what it feels like. Yeah,
It's probably more like your memories aren't hitting long-term memory, and
Yeah.
so they just vanish from you. Like
like-
memento kind of thing.
yeah. So like I can have conversations. The way I know that I'm asleep is I start thinking. I have a trigger memory, and I don't know why this is a thing. I start to think about trains, and I don't care about trains. I don't think about trains in my daily life for any reason whatsoever, unless I hear a train or something. I specifically think about like old, like 1800s locomotives. And when that starts to happen, I go, I must be awake, or I must be asleep right now. And then I'll wake up and I'll be like, was I just talking about trains? And they're like, no.
You know what's happened? You had a concussion at the same time as watching Inception, and it's like sunk deep into your subconscious.
The train is, you're waiting for a train.
No,
that's
it's your spinning train.
That's how I know I'm asleep though. And I wake up and I have fallen asleep. There's a couple streams and you can't tell, but I'm streaming and I'm playing a game and I'll just go, I don't know what to do next. Yeah, I don't know what I should do. And stuff. And people are like, what are you doing? And I'm like, just wandering around, like walking around and stuff. And I'm asleep. Like I'm not there. Like I'm completely
The
gone. And
character
that's-
starts walking against a wall.
no, that's the thing. I don't run into walls. I'll just wander around. And then when I wake up, I go, all right, guys, I'm going to call it. And everybody's like, why? And I'm like, we're good. And I'll just end the stream
That's
abruptly. And people are like,
crazy.
you good? I was like,
think
yeah, I
that's-
fell asleep. Yeah.
I think that's Epic Mickey, the alternate personality
It is.
rising
the
to
alter
the surface.
ego. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you sleepwalk, Mike?
No.
I
But
used to as a kid. I used to
Did you
walk
really?
downstairs. Yeah, I used
That's
to walk
crazy.
downstairs, and my parents would just be like, "Do you want to sit here?" Because I'd walk in and just not say anything. They'd be,
Why
"Do you
do
wanna
they
sit here?"
say-
And then I'd
what-
sit there for a few minutes, and they'd be like, "Do you want to go to bed?" I'd be like, "Yeah." And then they just
Why do they say in movies and cartoons and stuff that you're not supposed to wake the person?
I
What
don't
happens?
know. I mean,
think
nothing
that's
really
like
happens,
a myth.
but
Yeah.
like I will
Alright,
panic.
boys.
Like,
I think it's time for me to hop out. I'll let you guys have your night. This brew. Thank you again for hosting. Dan, Mike, thanks for coming to hang out. I'll be in
pleasure.
chat. Remember, this brew, if you need me, just send a message. And even if I have to hop backstage and help, I will.
are you
Okay.
kidding? Are you going to a maid cafe?
Yes.
I can't confirm nor deny that, but I'll send you pictures, Mike.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're good.
All right. Chat, be good to the boys. Mods, thanks for your help. All right, guys. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.
She's so
Yeah.
scared. You can
She
feel
is.
it.
Like, this is her channel. Like, everyone thought this was a bad idea. Chat knows this is a bad idea. Everyone is screaming, don't do it, Wicked, right now.
No. I trust these boys. Have fun. All right.
Well, that just
Bye.
means you're stupid as well as make bad judgments.
Now you should.
That just means
Love
no.
you
I trust you rather than all these people with their bank of evidence.
Bye.
But
Bye.
Hey.
Gary
See
Thomas
ya.
for $5. Congrats, Disper, on beginning your own show. I have a new Japanese slang term, Kenja time. I've no idea what that means. Probably never read foreign languages on stream. It's always a bad
is
idea.
that racist or something?
Probably. Hopefully.
It is the
it would be
Hopefully.
It's the post-orgasmic period when a man's thoughts are no longer impaired by his sexual drive.
Oh,
post-nut clarity.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Wicked just left.
Yeah,
It would be
got her
funny
running.
if you used it in Yeah, like, why is she even here? There we go. It would be funny if you used it in regular conversation. I think I just did.
Yeah,
Kenja time.
Kinja time. Yep. I can see everything now, bro. If there was like a pill for post-nut clarity,
Yeah.
the world.
It would literally be limitless. That's what it would
Yeah.
be. Every man would solve every problem.
It has nothing to do with our brain capacity.
Yeah.
It's just our
It's just the
dick.
constant
That's how you
need.
unlock. Yeah, that's how you unlock the remaining percentage that we
That's
never use in
amazing,
life.
dude. Yeah.
Suddenly you
that's
have
all
like
that pill was.
the cure
Yeah.
for cancer, interplanetary travel and stuff.
Dude,
It's like
I wonder.
suddenly I knew what I needed to do. I've started trading stocks. I'm using like 20 times thing to make all of the bankroll. I become the president of the United States. You're like taking down gangsters and everything because you're the only person which isn't disrupted by his natural biology.
Like, he never gets distracted. I don't understand. like,
So
there
like
was
you're
a-
Batman and the president.
Yeah,
Shit.
well, you are Batman because you can remember everything you've ever watched. So you can remember all of these like combat movies that you've seen and instantly think of all the combat moves. It was there was a comedy sketch like that over here where they did Bulmer's Peak, and it was if you are just a drink and a quarter drunk at all times, you kind of hit your peak capacity. And the entire theory was that that everyone that rules the world is just ever so slightly tipsy. And that is enough to make them
That's
at their
amazing.
peak capacity. And then one guy, he's
Kind
like,
of makes sense.
one guy just finishes his drink and it pushes him over the edge and the entire world collapses.
it's wild.
But the planet will for $5 on my Buffy rewatch. Finishing up season 3. I'd forgotten how much I like the mayor. I can't remember much of Buffy. I remember more Angel than Buffy.
I never watched either.
Oh, Angel's really good. It has that whole sort of legal, evil legal empire. And it sort of asks the question, what happens when a good person takes over something that's innately evil? And it's like, how much evil would you do to stop something worse? So they take out like a necromancer, but by taking out the necromancer, they find out he was slaughtering innocent people to stop like the apocalypse. And it's like,
Yeah.
would you slaughter innocents to stop the apocalypse?
It's kind of fascinating.
That's what we kept discussing about Breaking Bad when we were talking about Breaking Bad on TNME. It's like bad people versus worse people. That's a very common theme.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
this is a lot of people misunderstand what heroism is, and they think it's all like Superman, and it's like no, the Punisher isn't a bad guy because he's only hurting bad people. Like there are some things which are outside sort of the general system which could still be considered good. The very idea of justice
The
is that
anti-hero is still a hero.
yes, I don't think it is. I wouldn't even call Punisher an anti-hero, because the very idea of justice is that bad things happening to bad people is good. And I think actually that over time, essentially care-based morality is taken over. And so everything's like, no, we got to be peace and nice all over the place. And it's like the Punisher is the counterbalance to that of, no, some people just need to be told.
I believe sometimes being peaceful can be the immoral thing, the immoral option.
Interesting.
Yes. Well, you get down to can a weak person ever be good? Because if you don't have the capacity to do evil, you're not being evil because you're good. It's just because you're not capable of it.
Yeah, being peaceful is different than being harmless because being peaceful involves choice. Being harmless, you don't have a choice. You don't have the capacity to do damage. But if you have the capacity to do damage and choose not to, then you're peaceful.
Yeah.
I actually
what is
think a lot of
the,
that comes into like The Boys. That Eric Kripke and his view of power is essentially because he's just a weak and pathetic person. He thinks all people are like that.
Yeah, and that
So
means
he
that
can't-
he's inherently a good person because he's like weak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he can't comprehend the idea of someone being strong and powerful and good. Like, it's
Yes.
beyond him. Because he wouldn't be. If he had power, he would just enact evil, because that's actually like what a weak person's desire is, to enact harm on people. So he could never imagine like Superman not abusing his power.
Yeah.
And that's why he made The Boys.
Absolutely. And it's funny because like dude, this is why like things like gaming are important, because like the Parthenax like speech about like what is better, to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort. Like, dude,
Yes.
such a great like moment, but that's like, it's a very poignant thing to think about, because like in my opinion, like some of the best villains are the ones that like, I mean, having them just like a pure, this is a evil person is awesome, but like some of these villains that have like the morality system that they believe they're doing the right thing and they believe that they're doing something moral, even if they know what they're doing is like bad. Like Thanos wiping out half the galaxy, he doesn't think he's evil. He's like, I'm helping you. Like, this is actually, I'm doing you a favor. You know, if you guys could understand what I'm trying to do.
That should be all villains. Like,
Yeah. But I mean, there's some people like that just know they're evil. Like Hannibal Lecter, he doesn't think he's doing the right thing. He goes, what are you going to do? You can't stop me because I'm smarter than you.
yeah, but okay, so I think all the best villains think they're doing something, like they have a reason for it. I think if you
Yes.
just go, this guy's just mean because he loves it. It's not really gripping, because you're just like, well, he just needs to die then. There's no real thing there. Whereas when you can see their point of view, even if you disagree with it, especially if it's something like you agree with the problem, but not how they get to the solution. I think that's
It's
where
the
it really
ends justify the means situation, and you see throughout history some of the worst guys that did the worst things towards throughout history. It was that situation, like this is an extreme measure or a final solution because the problem requires it. It's the ends that we're going to achieve that are justifying what we are choosing to do right now.
Yeah.
I think the thing with that, though, is you have to be careful of, because there's exceptions to everything, and so you end up with like these hard, fast rules, and people learn slogans as a kid, and they never think about them again. So
Yes.
like, power corrupts absolutely is just wrong. If you're a good person and you get power, you will do good. It is, again, going back to the weak people who get power that would do evil all along, that do... power gives you the opportunity to do what you were always wanted to do. It doesn't make you evil inherently.
Yeah, well, it's like that the Bible scripture that gets like quoted incorrectly, which is money is the root of all evil, and that's not the quote.
That's not true.
It's the love of money is the root of all evil, because the idea is if your heart is in essentially only gaining something for yourself,
you will sacrifice anything just to get it.
Which is why people forget that it's like, no, money is not the root of it. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil. So
you find a lot of things. The quotes have essentially been perverted over time.
Yes.
Like in the Odyssey, how translations can entirely change text, which is coming up. But Ian Soforth for £50, that's proper money, even if he is Scottish. I love you, Dan.
Love you back, man. Thank you.
Shout out. Showing love. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like my favorite villain in like any fiction is the operative in Serenity, because like I thought that dude was like the coldest morality I've ever seen. Where he's like, oh, I have no... I know what I'm doing is bad, but I know I'm building a better world, and I don't expect to live in that. I was like, dude, that's cold. Like, just...
One of the best things about him, though, is when he's in the bedroom with the woman, and he's like, you won't go as far as me, and I don't want to do it, but I know it affects you, and that's why I will do it. I have no line except the line that you set for me, essentially. And I will only do exactly what is necessary, but I won't hesitate.
Yeah.
And I do think that actually in the world you need people which are willing to do both. You actually need... it's like you have the military where they take on the burden of doing things that civilians wouldn't to protect the civilians so they can keep their morality of it. I always think of Star Trek where you have Picard, who has a very care-based morality, very basic morality, but it's only because Section 31 is there that will do the things that he would never do to sacrifice themselves and their own morality so that he can go around. Because he may not respect their version of the morality, but they respect his. And they're like, I will take on this burden so that you can be you because you need to exist in the world. And I think that's actually one of the things which is lacking from modern Hollywood is because they think that gray is complex. It's like, no, layers are complex.
Yes.
And understanding that things rely on other people.
Or like the juxtaposition of like Picard to like Cisco. Who Cisco was like stone cold,
Commit
like
war crimes.
Yeah, straight up, like, yo, I know what has to be done. But part of, like you said, the layers, because of Picard's failings when he got taken by the Borg, caused Cisco to have the morality that he had. Because he's like, I've seen what happens when people like you fall. Like,
not even just that, but I think the treaty which put the neutral zone around the people was actually done by Picard. So Picard signed away these planets in, I'm pretty sure, because I think that original thing was signed in Next Generation, and then it moves over to Deep Space Nine, where they're doing
it was already on the original series. The neutral zone already existed in the original series.
But it's not the neutral zone. It's these planets were essentially part of the Federation, and then because of some kind of war or something, I'm pretty sure Picard signed a peace treaty with people, and so they expanded like a neutral border, and that neutral border took up Federation planets. And that's why the Marquis used to be Federation. That's why they're all like, you betraying us. We're just fighting for ourselves. This is like taking an entire country and just going, we don't care about you. And then them having to fend for themselves. That's why the Marquis, they were a kind of sympathetic kind of villain. You could understand why they were doing this. They were just people in the colonies trying to survive, essentially, was their position.
I remember that now. Yeah.
I think it was Picard that signed that treaty in Next Gen, and then Cisco had to deal with the fallout.
You guys mentioned the differences between Cisco and Picard. It's so funny when Cisco punches Q, and Q like
down
in the
Picard
ground,
would never punch me.
Picard never punched me, and he's like, I'm not Picard. It's it's one of the first few episodes already setting up what to expect from this new Star Trek series. So fun.
The perfect, like, because there was all the Starfleet Academy nonsense. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe all these Star Trek people are racist. It's like, I'm sorry, but Cisco is one of the most beloved, captains of all time. Of actually all the fan bases to try and use that argument. Star Trek is not the one. Like, Deep Space Nine is held up, compared to the original series and everything else. If anything, it's Voyager, which is the stepchild. I really like Voyager, though, but it's not a very common opinion.
It's the one Star Trek series I never watched, Voyager.
Voyager's good.
Like
It's weaker than Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, but that's because, like, you're talking about, like, 10 out of 10 versus, like, 8 out of 10.
Right.
But like, Voyager has some banger episodes in it too, and arguably
the worst ever episode.
Yes,
we hit warp 10, we go back in time, and suddenly the captain is shagging like a random crew member as a chameleon type creature. It's very strange. I will have to handle the super chat, so X-Ray will not X-Ray. Wicked will actually kill me.
Yeah, go ahead.
She will come back in and kick me out and be like, no, I'm seizing the stream.
And talking about Star Trek is awesome.
Oh, yeah, well, we can do it after. But Salty Saurus Rex for $2. Whoa, buddy! Nikki, what are the oranges for?
That's a really great question.
For eating.
I think it's to slice through the flavor of the food and to expose hidden truths. So Ian Southforth for £50. Scotland's cold, but my pubs are hot and sticky. Well, they are after you visited them, I'm sure. And, look, Ian Southforth, he's often found outside of the pub in the alley next door on the floor, covered in his own fluids.
Oh, sorry, it's my second language. I heard something else instead of pubs.
There are very few people I'd say that about that I've just said, but Ian seems to keep coming back for more, so I can't help myself. Shik74 for $1.99 in 5 years. This brew will be forced to wear a hijab. Look, I will rather just sit here and be a rampant whore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
Iris, 1997, member for 15 months, thank you. Was Beardo too busy to come on and read supers? Get him on right now. Well, luckily, unlike Wicked, I can read. I might as well insult her. I'm sure she's not paying attention. Yeah, and Beardo. Ariel Key, 77 for $5, thank you. The original Thief trilogy. is God tier gaming. And this brewer's right. The Asylum level on Thief 3 was Creep Out City. Yeah, my worst levels with the Asylum level, and in Vampire the Masquerade, there was just a haunted house you went into, and it was really poor graphics, but that was scary as hell at the time.
And the Windows 9X era, like 95 and 98, some of my favorite eras of gaming ever. MS-DOS is great, but 95 and 98 in Windows is fantastic.
Everything was better back then. Like, literally everything.
Literally
I always think
everything.
that PC gaming went downhill when it went multi-platform. Like, you have different demographics and different target audiences that
Right.
merged. Like, in FPS, now you're trying to merge controllers and mouse. It just doesn't work.
What do you guys think about this? I think peak human civilization was mid-2000s.
Yes,
Because
I agree.
You had those cool things, like they were fresh. The 80s and 90s culture was still fresh. But you already had, like, an overwhelmingly access to information through the internet, but without cell phones yet. Still without
the
cell
cell
phones.
The cell
Like,
phones is an interesting thing because you still had the internet, but everyone wasn't locked into
Internet
it.
without
So
phones. Yeah.
It was kind of like the geeks had access to, if you were really interested in, you had access to, but it hadn't had enough time to destroy all of society.
You had it in school. Yeah, you would like go to your dad's office and play some online game.
Yeah, because it was only like late 2000s when I had home internet. I didn't
Mike,
get
you're
home
muted.
internet till I was like 18.
Mike.
I think he's
Sorry,
just
I didn't realize I was
miming.
muted. No, there was like
sorry, it
kids
was his
screaming in the
concussion.
background. Yeah, it was my concussion. Yeah, there was kids screaming in the background. No, the Matrix said that in the Matrix they flat out said peak human civilization was 1999,
Yeah.
and after everything after that was the downfall of like humanity. You know,
I wouldn't argue. I would probably go a few years later, but I'd be perfectly happy with anyone saying
Yeah.
it in the 90s.
yeah,
You
Because
gotta
could
have
argue that-
the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Well,
yeah, well,
the-
yeah,
The issue you have is, and this is what an issue a lot of people have, is if you don't like the current times and you go back, you have to realize that the position that you choose led to now. So you
Yes.
also have to choose a time and then change something, so you don't just go down the same path.
yep.
So it's probably more acceptable to I go back to the start of the internet and delete the internet, than I go back to 99 and then just relive the last 27 years.
Yeah. Well, there's like it's funny because like the realization is like when you reach peak, you don't realize you're at peak. You realize you're at peak when things start to get bad and you look back
Yeah.
and go, "Oh." Cuz like when we talk about gaming, you go like we had like early 2000s, we were eating good with games. Like gaming was at its peak, but we were heading towards bad because of like the things that get set up ahead of time. You know, so it's like you go back to right before things started to get bad. I don't know. The other thing with tech is like I don't know. Go ahead, Disbrew.
My entire thing is, and there's actually like psychologists begin to go out about this and stuff, and it is sort of once the makeup of essentially society or certain companies change, it changes the entire the culture of the company. And
Yeah.
you go from like a masculine set of values to a feminine set of values, which changes it from like risk and showing off and everything to try and reproduce and all that kind of stuff to safety, harm avoidance, equality, language policing. We're not going to offend anybody.
Matriarchy.
And so,
That's what
Yeah.
matriarchy is.
well, so you switch from we're just going to swing for the hills. We're going to try all new stuff. We're going to go off in this new direction to we're going to do exactly what we're doing, but make it more extreme. And so you end up on the same track, but you just get more and more radical over time. And that essentially there is no mechanism under that system to ever change and go to a different one.
Yes.
Where it's a bit like the example I use is bees, because bees will go off find a food source, come back, dance, and then all the bees will follow it. Except there's like 20% that completely ignore everybody. They go off and find a new food source, and then they're the ones that come back and dance for the other bees. And I think essentially we've now made Hollywood, gaming, and everything else, everyone's going down the same path. And they've fired all of the people that want to go down the new path. So there is no one discovering new genres, new methods of being, going, you know, RTS, that used to be really popular. We don't make RTS anymore. Why aren't we doing that?
Yes.
And so anyone who sticks their head above the parapet gets fired because you're not part of the social consensus.
Yes, 100%. I actually just posted this on Twitter because I said something about apes because Elon Musk was talking about like cities and how you can perfect cities and help with cities and stuff like that. I am of the personal opinion that cities are actually part of the downfall of society.
I agree completely.
Yeah, because the problem is the more people that you gather in one spot, the worse things become because you're building around some like so cities are useful. I do think cities need to exist because they're a monument to like society. They're civilization like going, this is look at what we've created because of our technology and our abilities. But then when you have too many people congregating, it's not designed for like occupancy. It's a space that you're supposed to go to. Go ahead.
So cities were invented because factories required lots of people in a small area to concentrate into one thing. We're past that. Like if we, at least the UK, I don't know what the manufacturing base is in America, but I imagine it's a lot lower than it used to be because you're trying to bring it back. China's taken a lot of the factories. So without factories, if you the more digital your world, you don't need cities. The more service-based your world is, you don't need cities.
I cannot wait to get out of the city, man. It's like and it's
the
so
older
funny.
you get,
I was talking to my girlfriend about that today. It's funny how you like you save money and you try to be successful and stuff just in order to live a simpler life. I'm saving money to get out of civilization, to get out of the like to go back to where we came from, which is the farming life, the life in the wild, that sort of stuff. And
Lord of the Rings.
It's a civilization dichotomy that's very interesting. Civilization is allowing me to go back to live a better life in those simpler ways.
Yeah.
Well,
Lord of the Rings. Like the civilization that people value in Lord of the Rings in the Shire. Everyone looks at the Shire as the place they want to live. Nobody looks at like the city, which is getting like where the huge battles. They like the battles, they don't like the city itself. But everyone wants to be the people that don't have to worry about the outside world. They can just live, they can farm the land or whatever. And
you know who else was very anti-city, very anti-civilization? Robert E. Howard with Conan. Conan the Barbarian is a very strong critique to sort of the civilized man. It's like, who's the real barbarian? It's very interesting to watch Conan and read Conan through those lenses.
Yeah, well, and there's also like a thing about like, because I was actually thinking about this today. So if you think about even a millionaire, you become a millionaire and you live in the city. You don't buy a house, you buy a condo that you don't technically own, or you pay for a high-rise apartment. So your wealth isn't going into something that's going to build generationally. You're giving your wealth to someone else that is building their generational wealth for themselves to make other people give them more wealth over time. Like, so you create this thing where you don't own something that's going to build over time. Whereas if you become a millionaire and you buy a house, and that house, you fix it up and you keep it nice, and then you pass that house off to your children, well, then your children now inherit that house. And whether they take care of it or not is up to them. But you pass something down through history, whereas cities not designed like that. So
the society isn't, because now you get taxed on your thing, so now they have to sell the house in order to pay the taxes for the thing. And that's if the parents didn't just go on cruises for the last 20 years of life to spend everything as it was. Like the entire thing of has changed. There was just a generation was like, no, screw everyone else in front of me. But again, super chat, sorry. The old Renaissance boomer for $5. As much as I enjoy the conversation, I am well aware that Wicked will come back and demand that I fight her. And I will have to stand here and get beaten because otherwise the police will come for me. It would seem to be a preschool teacher perfectly prepared for Wicked this day. Having to work with this group, no pee-pee poo-poo talk, Dan.
We haven't talked about it yet.
We won't. There is too many interesting conversations to be taken up with poop talk. Ian Southpaw for £50, that's proper money. When I walk to a place, I can get there and not remember getting there. When Disparu explains his existence, believe him. It genuinely happens. I like that. Not making that up at all. I'm way too... People think I ignore them in the streets because I look straight at them and don't know I've seen them. But I'm just thinking of something else.
Yeah, I just ignore them.
I'm sure you know the face. Saltysaurus Rex for $2. Epic Mickey imposes heavy taxes and orange tariffs.
Orange tariffs.
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I just do what I can.
My theory is that Mike knows what the oranges are for. Ian Southforth for £50. I'm a mod. That's how screwed we are.
Oh man! Lately, I've been inspired to take better care of my orange tree. It's not easy, man. It's not easy to grow oranges.
I decided not to look after every living being because if something died, that's a responsibility I don't want to have.
Bro, the sensation of eating something that you cultivated and grew yourself is like it's what we were talking about, like going back to simpler times.
Oh,
It's
I would love
fantastic.
to, but in England, the one thing we lack is land.
Ah,
And
yes.
there's just more people all the time.
No,
and
yeah,
the land gets more into
For all the shitty things about Brazil, land is something I cannot complain about. It's like you can grow anything in Brazil. It's
like
fantastic.
It's like America. I look at their houses and they're like half the price for twice or more of the land. And it's just because they got so much. It's just less valuable.
We have so much land that is just sitting there that we don't have to do anything with. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
The idea, I think it was Gary said I have to drive X amount of hours to leave Texas, and I put that into Europe, and I'd be in Russia.
Yes,
I was like, okay, I'd never drive that distance.
there are some places, in the United, just a single state, you cannot drive across it in like a full day, like,
But Cake Box knock Norwegian kroner, I think
Not
that
a
is
full
for
day.
50
Half a day.
for 50 knocks. Mike has had so many concussions that he ended up with autism.
Yeah,
I would say that Mike has had so many
that
concussions he
possible?
ended up on this stream.
Yeah.
Rootless Redneck for $5. Boys. That's Ryan Long. That's his stream's announcement.
I meant half a day. Chat before somebody corrects me. It's half a day. It's like 12 hours to drive across Texas.
Faux Q
Crazy.
for $5. If you're ever feeling down, remember the average max length of Thailand is 3.7 inches, 3.9 inches in Cambodia, and 4.3 in the Philippines. Stand proud, kings.
How much is that in centimeters?
Over here, I think the average is around 5 inches. I don't know off the top of my head. Kill
5
Ganon.
inches?
Yeah, I think it is. Because everyone used to say it was 6. Apparently it's 5. Kill Ganon, 84 for $5. It's probably the only thing going up over time. Kenju time is often followed by
That
Kenju
is
regret and
small.
depression. Yes.
13 centimeters?
Yes, there's a reason why they pixelated. Cranberry Langers for $5. The verse is actually, the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, not of all evil. People quote it wrong often. Well, that's still kind of the same meaning, even with the word swap round. Whereas if you remove the love of, it's an entirely different meaning.
Yeah.
And Ian Southforth for £50 is proper money. You wouldn't know what I was covered in if you didn't keep going out to check.
Okay.
Yes. Well, no,
That's
that is when I
wild.
said he was. That's when I said he was outside in an alley outside the pub, and I wish I had a response to that. My main response would be, I would never go to Scotland. I have more self-respect. Ian Southwell for £50. I'm actually loving a boy space. Let's normalize this.
We need to start a show.
The next topic of normalizing the boys' space is about Spartacus, and I will. What have I done?
Spartacus.
Yes, Spartacus has been cancelled, but what have I just done?
Oh, that new show.
Yes, it's not what I want to start with, though.
House
because
of Asher.
Yes, but I promised everyone this first. The enhanced
dude.
games are set to debut this weekend in Las Vegas. Athletes are allowed to use steroids, testosterone, HGH, and any other banned substance. Now, I have been saying for a long time that basically we need to get all of the Olympians together, the best athletes from around the world, and just breed them. I want a breed of superhuman species that are just the peak of humanity. Because I don't know if you remember previous Olympics. There was one during the 2020s in lockdown where they gave them cardboard beds that could only support the weight of one person so that people couldn't bang in the beds. And I'm like, well, that's stupid. They're just going to go on the floor next to the beds. That's not going to stop them. But imagine if we didn't stop them and we just impregnated every single Olympian around the world every 4 years. They would take over the earth in like 20 years.
Yes.
Well, maybe more. They'd have to grow up. But
Yeah.
Bro, these guys lats. What the fuck?
Yeah.
See,
Well, this is a case of not the best person wins, the best chemist wins.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
chemist.
You take your athletes and you want your best ones to breed with each other. The other, I support
Yeah,
recreational
then-
eugenics. That's crazy.
And then,
word.
well, then take those
Recreational eugenics.
Take those I am all for breeding superhumans, and we just need to get the most perfect people, which are the Olympians, together. Then they can have kids. Then we can breed those, send them to the enhanced games, and find out what humanity is really capable of.
Yes.
Wow.
But the difference is that, like, somebody posted this actually the other day too. The human body is like incredibly resilient and also incredibly fragile. Like, you could be like a super like jacked, take care of yourself body and like slip on a banana peel and like crack your skull on something and just die instantly.
Yeah.
But then you could also be like an 80-year-old woman who falls out of a plane and like survive hitting the ground and just break every bone in your body. And we don't know what makes either of those things happen because humans are really weird.
I've walked off a cliff
What?
in the French Alps. I walked essentially off a mountain.
How far did you fall?
It was quite a long way. So there's a grading system that is used in rivers for like how bad like the rapids are.
Yes.
And as a joke, they would grade like the mountain on the same river scale. I went
Yes.
off the place you should never go off. And the guy went, the only reason you survived is because you were so drunk, you just went down.
Yes.
And I remember landing in the bottom and thinking, this is a really comfy field. That's how bad I was.
How bad did you like break things though? Like, did you break a bunch of stuff?
My up from my foot to my knee was a right mess, but I didn't feel anything at the time. There was like all crushing marks down my face. Again, I didn't know anything at the time until I woke up and saw myself in the mirror. I was a right state, but at the time I felt fine.
That's insane. When I had my machete accident, I also didn't feel anything, but I was not drunk.
Yeah, you were because you went in a shock. Yeah.
You cut the nerve, so it's like, how is it going to feel anything at that point, I guess?
It's like, no, but I felt pain after the fact, but it was like, I feel like at that time, pain would not have served any evolutionary purpose.
Yes,
You know
that
what
is
I mean?
that is how our bodies work. Yep.
There's a lot of people...
right then and there, I was alone, and what I had to do was be of full mind, fully aware, stop the bleeding, call my brother, go to the hospital and stuff. I had to have plenty of my mental faculties intact, and while if I had pain, if I was like in panic and pain, I might even have died and passed away and bled to death.
That's a gender difference. So the way it works is cortisol is a stress hormone, but it binds to testosterone, which produces a different outcome. So when cortisol binds to testosterone, it like makes you like in the zone, it calms you down, it means problem-solving mode. But if you just have cortisol, it just makes you run away. It just makes you panic, scream, get out of there. So it literally that women get out of the situation, men go into the situation. That's why whenever you see a problem, men are running towards the crash, women are running the other way. Or if it's recorded, there's always just a random person screaming. And it's like, what is screaming going to do in this scenario?
But that's what it is. It's a problem-solving switch that goes like, blick, and it's like, and it's not no effort at all. It's like I felt like I was an autopilot, sort of an autopilot problem-solving mode. Like I have to do this, I have to do that, and it was like no problem at all. It was like I was very calm.
It's
very
like the opposite
how
of
that
anxious.
works.
It like chills you out, and it's just logic.
Yeah.
Nothing else is.
Up to that time, up to that day, I was always very afraid of dying in pain. And like after that day, after that experience, I was like, I'm not afraid of pain anymore. So like if it's a real bad situation where I have to like do something, like you hear about those guys that cut, like that guy who got stuck with behind a rock with his arm behind a rock in a mountain.
Yeah.
Oh,
remember
the
that?
one made a film out of.
They had he had to cut his own arm,
And he had to cut through the nerve, which is like one of the most painful things you could ever do.
He probably didn't feel it. He probably didn't feel it.
Oh, I think he said it.
I think he said he did feel it, but he just said that
it
like
was
after
really bad.
at some point you just drive. And that's actually the thing. So the funny thing is, like, essentially the human body is just like a chemist set with, you know, like a bunch of like levers and pulleys, and your brain is the thing, because like hysterical strength is just your brain going, we don't have time to like hold back anymore, and even if this does like permanent damage, we gotta go, like, and we gotta do it now, which is why you hear about people lifting vehicles and things that are well beyond their capabilities, because we have limiters on ourselves. Well, the human body has a lot of limiters, and sometimes your brain just goes, right now I kind of just need to let the body do what it does, and then your body kicks in and goes, yeah, I got it. Like, I can numb this pain for a little bit. We can function, things like that. I mean, there are obviously certain points where you can't do those things, but like, you know, the funny part about like being so drunk is, well, naturally our bodies tense up, and that's actually how you break the most amount of bones, is you're stressing, like, because you can actually like be under so much stress that you crack bones from your muscles just contracting. So being in a situation where your body doesn't think to like have any kind of like level of like self-preservation is like, all right, I don't know, man.
I can remember going down the hill.
Priorities.
I was just like that going down. I was just like spread eagled.
Hold me now.
I was on a mountain. I was on a mountain in the UK. Everywhere has like lights. There's no lights on a mountain. So all that happened is the road went one way and I didn't. And that was basically as simple as it went.
It's crazy stuff, man. Yeah, I mean, the human brain and the human body are freaking ridiculous. And I mean, but that's why you also, like, the unfortunate side of things is like drunk drivers and things. They get in accidents and you'll hear they survived without any injuries and other people got severely hurt or died. And it's because, like, yeah, you're just relaxed. And that's why you actually like have to teach people, when things go badly, you have to relax. Like, you have to make yourself relax, because your body's stressing doesn't help you. Your body thinking, your brain telling your body, chill, just do what you do. It's the best thing that you can do for yourself. That's not easy. I'm not saying it's like a switch, but it's like,
but you can consciously influence it.
Yeah.
Yes,
absolutely.
I remember I was chasing after a dog that I used to have, and I tripped over. And it was one of those moments where everything slows down again. Yep. And I remember thinking and having the choice, do I stop myself or do I roll? And I consciously turned and then rolled sideways. It must have only been like a split-second decision, but I remember doing it and like actually working out both ways and thinking, no, rolling is better.
Bro, absolutely. Now that you mentioned that, I remember I almost had a second terrible gardening accident, because I had.
Damn, what are you doing, bro?
How do you call those gardening? How do you call in English those
shears?
The shears. I had the shears in my hands, and I was like, I was climbing a flight of stairs on my backyard, and I tripped, and that exactly what Disparu described happened. It's like time froze, and it's like, you have a choice to make right now. You can just try to stop your face from going on the concrete and risk shoving the shears on your lungs, or you can throw the shears away and just land on your face. Oh, so I chose to land on my face. It was like a clear choice. It's so funny, man, because it's what Disparu described. Time freezes, and you choose, like, I'm gonna throw this away so I don't stab myself.
Yeah. Well, like, that happened. The first car accident I was ever in. I was like it was I got to go, like, I had the right of way, like, it was just a straight road, and then there was a two-way like stop on either side, and I'm just driving like normal speed, and like everything starts to slow down. I'm like, what's going on? And I see the lady just ran right through the stop sign. And so I was like, okay, if I keep going, she's going to hit me, and whatever happens, like, I don't know how this is all going to work. So like, I just thought in my head, if I turn my wheel as hard as I can to where she's coming to and hit the gas, then when she hits me, we'll at least spin out together and be close enough. So like, I just kind of did it, and then when we ended up like right next to each other, instead of her just completely T-boning my vehicle. But it was like a scary moment, but like in that moment, I was like, man. I have a choice to make.
A couple seconds and very complex lines of reasoning in a couple seconds. It's fantastic.
Yep. And fortunately, like, she was good and stuff. And, like, I've never been in an accident that I have caused. I have never been at fault for an accident. But Like that one was one of those ones where I was really happy about that. And then the second one I was in was also the same thing. It was but what was funny about it, or not funny, but interesting, is like it was a single road and it was just a one stop sign, and right next to me on the other side was like a bunch of houses and fences and stuff like that. And this lady like went to go hit her brakes and her brakes went out, and she just at like 50 miles an hour blew through. And I remember being like, maybe I could like slam on my brakes here. Like it might just be better if I gunned it, because I was in like a big work van. I was like, let her hit the back of the van, then she'll probably get hurt the least and I'll get hurt the least. So I kind of gunned it and she did. But it was funny because the cop was like, yeah, I've heard a million times people's brakes didn't go out. And when he touched her brakes, they like they just did this. Like the brake.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
it was
speaking of car crashes, Spartacus, House of Asher,
this was like, we got to get this
cancelled by
segue.
Stars after one season. It's about time. After an hour and 14 minutes, we finally get to the first topic.
Yeah.
But this is actually a remarkable article because it is probably the most blunt admission that woke has killed a television show I have ever seen. It is honestly kind of... So Stephen DeKnight...
Have you watched that show? Have you watched it?
So Spartacus, incredible series. The first
No,
one.
yeah, the old
This is
one
the spin-off.
I watched.
I watched however many episodes launched at the first thing, which I think was
Right.
like 1 or 2. And it is basically... He gets brought back from the dead by...
Ow! Like
Xena, you remember Xena Warrior Princess actress?
Yes.
She brings him back from the dead to
Literally?
try and do. Yeah, it starts with her like character as a demon in hell, essentially bringing him back to wreak vengeance and give him a second chance at life. And
So
then
they that series doesn't have supernatural stuff in it. It's a historical character. Spartacus is a historical guy that existed.
it's not anymore. It is
No.
what would happen if Asher didn't die, essentially, and so then it follows his life. So he has
So
to.
you're being literal. You're being literal. He was brought from.
No, literally, Xena Warrior Princess actress, who was the actress that taught me what the word merkin meant. She actually brings him back from the dead at the
I
start of the
didn't know
first
that.
episode. So then it's
I
as if,
thought it was gonna be some sort of prequel or something.
no. It's as if he never. If you take the first series, if he never died, just carry on from there. And so he takes over the old gladiator set, essentially the training
Ludus.
area, the Ludus, and he has to train like new people and work up from the beginning. It's essentially a rerun of the original series. But he decides the only way I can ever he gets his best fighter. They get killed by midgets. Not even joking. This big guy gets defeated by midgets. So he gets humiliated. He's like, the only thing that can save me is something exotic, something it's never seen before, a woman that might actually win a fight. And so he finds her, and she's just
Black woman.
the perfect girl boss. She defeats everybody, doesn't get suffered by anything. And I stopped watching when two guys try to do what you would expect of people to do to a woman in a gladiatorial arena, and she literally kills one by ripping his dangly bits off. That's like, and it's shown as like gory. It's like, yeah, this is. And she gets everything handed to her the entire way. Everyone's like, oh, you can't do anything, and then she just defeats them all because of.
There's
course,
a lot of
she's amazing.
symbolism in that. You know that, right?
There definitely will be with Season Tonight. This guy is a woke lunatic. But what I didn't expect was this admission. The Spartacus sequel could not match the buzz and viewership levels of the original 2010 series. Additionally,
No shit.
the makeup of the follow-up's audience did not quite align with Star's focus on women and underrepresented audiences, sources said. And the audience weren't the modern audience they were expecting. For some reason, they thought that the original audience would just piss off and it would be
but it's like,
replaced
you're
with an
using
audience of
an
women and
IP.
diverse people.
You're using an IP that it's for guys. It's for dudes watching other dudes like fight and shit.
They say that. Like, the sword and sandal genre is inherently male skewing and popular with white viewers.
It's like
This is an article from people that know the problem. They knew the problem. Stars knew what it was, and they thought, screw 'em. We have an audience. We know who it is, but we want to change that audience.
this is a constant theme in Hollywood. People buy IPs and they want to buy the IP without inheriting the audience of that IP. But at the same time, why do you buy an IP? It's to inherit the audience. But they
Yeah,
do that expecting a new audience.
They
Make it make
simultaneously hate the old audience.
Yes.
But think that they'll turn up for anything. So that they think they're actually such a thing as Nintendo fans. They don't realize that people that like Nintendo games think that those Nintendo games are good, and that's why they watch them. And so Nintendo becomes a name of good for that person. But if Nintendo start making crap games, they won't like them anymore. Like, this should be the most common sense opinion of all history, but apparently.
Well, and I was saying this on yesterday on Friday Night Tights. Like, a lot of these people take over these IPs and they think they're entitled to the fan base. So there's not like the attitude isn't, oh, I'm stepping into this and I need to like win the fans over or whatever. Like, I am in this IP, and so because I'm part of it, you have to be a fan of me and what I'm doing. That's not how that works. It is just an open door to allow you to ingratiate yourself to fans. And we just saw that, like, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, critical acclaim, Voyager, not so much. It's still probably better than what we have now on television, but at the time it was coming up short, and they had to like work to win over fans. Same with Enterprise. Enterprise is like widely considered terrible Star Trek until later in the show because they earn the fans back, but you're not entitled to their money or their time or their effort, and this is what it feels like with this.
Well, it's almost like, Mike, if you came on this stream and I started being like, I know you came in for certain things, but actually I'm just going to talk about all these topics that you can't stand, and I'm going to spend my entire time humiliating you on the stream and expect you to stay. At some point, you tell me to
talk about YouTube analytics.
Well, look, nobody cares in the viewership about ad revenue. Like, the moment I came back and like, why are 3 people talking about a backsstage meeting of YouTube analytics? That has to be stopped. I will not stand. Wicked may stand for it. I will not stand for it.
Really
but it's still, like its predecessor, House of Usher features a diverse cast. It's not the same cast. You can go with, oh yeah, of course. I mean, one of the original trainers was black in it. No one had a problem. It's like, yes. Yeah. So if no one had a problem with the original series, why do they have a problem with it now? It's almost like something's changed. But with storylines that feature predominantly women, who aren't the audience, although if they were hot, they probably wouldn't have a problem, and characters from underrepresented backgrounds. Examples include Black Gladiatrix Achillea.
Gladiatrix?
She can't fight to save her life, and the moment you see her fight, it's like watching Ahsoka. She is slow, clumsy, and she would just die immediately. The reason why there was no... So Gladiatrix did exist, but it was essentially the ancient equivalent of Foxy boxing. It was just hot women fighting each other because they were hot. Which, if that was the show, would have been incredibly popular. Well, it actually got banned, but this is all on Wikipedia. It actually got banned by the Emperor because he said it was demeaning to the morals of women. So he banned... The Emperor was like, no, you slags, you can piss off. I don't want you to do that. That would have been a better story.
That's wild.
Fucking woke Emperor, get out of here.
Well, he wasn't. It was the opposite of woke. He was the one enforcing morality. Played by Danica Davis, as well as multiple spotlights by Alphabet Plus characters. Now, one of the things in 2 episodes, you have never seen so many men dangling in the breeze as you have in this. Every other scene is just a guy with his knob out. It's like watching
thing nowadays, right? It's
28 years later, they use the same prosthetics, just weirdly sized, amorphous, dangly bit.
Right after the Me Too thing happened, a lot of people.
It's sort of a vengeance thing.
A lot of Hollywood people and like stuff. They started hiring like intimacy coordinators and stuff, and these people were
perverts.
advising. Yes, essentially.
Look, if your job is essentially, I want to go into this and tell people how they can have sex, you're a pervert. There's no.
Well, it's like you used to have people go like, I want to make sure the sex is accurate in this, so I'll hire some sex expert or whatever. Shit like that did happen, but you didn't have people whose whole job it was just to police the way people are wearing their clothes, and like there's
forehead kisses.
There's a lot of jobs on movie sets and stuff like that. But what happened was they fired all the people that were doing their jobs at a certain level, and they said, okay, we need people to come in here. And what was happening was they were saying, you know what? All these women have been exploited because their breasts have been out and they have all these naked scenes and they're doing all these, sex scenes and stuff. So in order to respond to that, we need to do the same thing to men. And so now you have that. But the part of it is, one, you can't show an erect penis on television unless it's I think it's NC-17. And the other part of it is they know that flaccid penis is humiliating to men. And so if you keep showing flaccid penises all the time, you're making
How many times are you going to repeat that phrase?
What, flaccid penis?
Flaccid penis. Flaccid penis.
What you do is you keep showing that off, and then it embarrasses men and makes people uncomfortable. And you go, "Ha, that's how women feel," but it's not how women feel, because Sydney Sweeney is like the antidote to that, because she goes, "I love showing my tits off on camera."
Yeah.
And the thing is, you could have easily made this show successful if you just had hot women in it. So if Asher came back and his entire gladiatorial arena was, yeah, these people can't fight, but they are really hot while they're fighting. So why don't we just get them to fight each other? This would be an entirely different show. And it wouldn't have got, as the finale reportedly got, 97,000 viewers for the finale.
That's crazy, man.
They didn't even make it to the end of the season. And I can't help thinking that one of the reasons why that might be is Stephen DeKnight, the creator, who, for the entire time this show was out, anytime someone went, look, I'm a real fan of the previous thing, but this thing's crap, why are you changing it? He's like, no, it's the storyteller in me. The liberal in me is the one telling you to F off to the sun, you weak alpha male crybaby. Off you go. You might as well tell him to F off.
Yeah.
Now, he was always like, you
enjoy
weak...
having a failed show.
He's still going, right? This is from yesterday.
I'm so happy.
You broken, weak, fragile dipshit from mid-century Germany. Good on you, brother. This is a guy which has done this all his time. Now, there was other stuff that I wanted to bring up, but I can't find the tabs. So I don't know which tab I brought them in, but there was an entire thing I had from... where's it gone?
So he did the original Spartacus.
Oh my gosh, this guy's blocked me.
He did. Yes.
Oh yeah. Tonight blocked me. I've never interacted with him ever.
Do you want to know why he blocked me for posting the Nielsen ratings, of which he wasn't a part of? All I did, I retweeted him. That one I showed you where he's attacking somebody. I quote tweeted that with the graph of the Nielsen ratings, and that was it. He blocked
Immediate
me.
block. Yeah, he'd been on a blocking spree then. That's amazing. Wow.
But I think it's been deleted because I had to restart my browser, unfortunately. I don't think it's saved the tabs.
He didn't block me. I feel so left out.
So there was a gladiator... can I bring it up? Gladiator.
So he did the original seasons of Spartacus. What else?
Yeah, he did. Well, that's mainly what he's known for. It was the old gladiators. So they essentially brought back the old creator and brought him up to the new one. And this is something we found out multiple times. The person that made the original creation is not the same person now. All these people has changed, and reality's changed, everything they hear about them has changed, and they've moved along with it. They've steadily got more and more radical over time, and they have no idea how they even made the original source material. And they think that you're wrong for going, this isn't the same stuff, because they don't know they've moved. It's a bit like if you're in a train looking out the window, to you, everything else moving. You're in a static position, everything else is going past you. And so they don't realize how radical they are anymore, because every single person with them has all moved alongside.
Yeah. So this, what's insane about this? So he was a writer on Buffy. He was a writer, producer, and director on Angel. He was a writer and director on Smallville. He was the writer, executive producer, creator, and showrunner of Spartacus. He was the director, writer, producer, and showrunner for Daredevil on Netflix. And then he did Jupiter's Legacy, which was like a really bad superhero project that could have been interesting, but he ran everything on that, and it crashed and burned in 2 episodes. Netflix canceled it, which they never do. And then he got House of Asher. So like, that's kind of interesting to see his trajectory. Go ahead.
He was attacking the fans. From the moment the trailer launched, the fans attacked him, and he immediately, he was like the Doctor on Starfleet Academy. He would just attack the fans back, and he was too thick to realize you don't have fans to lose. You need to win them over. You need to get down on your knees and beg people to watch your show. You are not going to win some mythic or modern audience, which is what he thought. If I change everyone, no one will care. But this is the perfect example of the change in time. So Pepsi did a commercial way back in the days in the 90s, and it was like Britney Spears, I think that's Pink, and Beyonce. And they just found like the 3 hottest women they could that were around at the time. And if I had the other tabs, there was more tabs up, but I had to restart my browser. lots of this advert on YouTube is like close-ups of their arse, them turning around,
Yeah.
all showing off their body. And then they did it for Gladiator 2 in 2024. And they had Megan Thee Stallion and 4 blokes. This is the perfect example of how marketing has changed for the modern audience. It's like, no, we'll give a woman that no man likes that won't attract to them, and men they're just not interested in.
Yeah.
But the marketing team, which will be full of nearly entirely women, will be interested in these men.
Yes.
And so this was made for an audience that isn't the product. It is made for an audience that's not a Gladiator 2, but it is made for the people making the marketing who are too thick to realize that they need to essentially make it for other people, but they can't put themselves to the side.
Yeah, absolutely. What a mess, dude. Yeah. I mean, we see that with like the Super Bowl. They market it towards women because of the ads, the commercials. Women watch it for the commercials, and they don't put any emphasis on the game, even though the game is why people watch it in the first place and why it got popular. You know. Yeah.
Well, are any of you, and this isn't really a serious question, but do any of you like wrestling?
We
professional
never
wrestling?
got much wrestling here in Brazil.
I love
Well,
professional wrestling.
do you ever watch wrestling videos on YouTube?
Sure, yeah.
I mean, I do.
Okay. Well, this is an AI one.
Millions of fans are making to be a lot of people. But do you feel like you have to be there? That's the question. And for a lot of people, the answer
I think we can all understand that's an AI voice at this time.
Yeah.
And then find out what happens when it tries to pronounce WWE.
or another. What
All I'm saying is they're saying that AI is going to replace YouTubers. I think we're a bit off yet, right? Now, at first, I thought this was a human voice because if you go later in, you can hear like water. It sounds like a guy drowning himself to try and make it, and it's really weird.
Yep.
Like, it sounds like he's trying to recover from the water he's just... So I went to the guy's YouTube channel.
Being tortured.
I went to the guy's YouTube channel. I clicked a random video, and I'm like, there's no way, right? This guy has hundreds of videos, hundreds of AI videos.
I'm very excited about this because I do know about like AI struggling to read certain words. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of excited for this. Disper, do you have it up?
Huh?
Oh, did that not switch?
It
Oh,
didn't
no.
switch.
It didn't.
We were waiting for you to switch it over.
Yeah,
I was like,
we
oh.
wait-
no.
it's like, we're
So when
waiting
you
for
click on the new
something to
tab, you have
happen
to tell it to share the next tab. You have to tell it.
No,
like,
No, but it was worse because I thought I'd shared that, but I could only do the audio, which is why I did the other one. And I hadn't realized... I thought it was on one. So this is this guy.
and other wrestling insiders, clothing
I told you it was going to be a scuff scream.
company set to unveil a WWE partnership.
And it just goes on. It goes on for like minutes. Like, I don't know when it ends.
well, because you know what's happening is the guy that's doing this, he's probably having AI edit the video, and then he's just uploading
Another
them without
layer of
checking them.
That's my stomach after
you
that bean soup.
Dude, that's
It
amazing.
goes on for at least 10 minutes. 10
That's
minutes.
amazing, dude.
And if you look at the comments, it's just Ric Flair sends a chilling message. Me when I can't swallow the hot dogs coming down the conveyor belt fast enough. I'm crying. This is the funniest shit ever. Listen,
that is
11 minutes
amazing.
in. It's not the fully.
That's crazy work,
The
dude.
random. Like, this is, like I say, random video. So then I clicked another random video.
No way, dude. This guy does it actually keep going? This isn't. That one didn't share either. That one didn't even share either.
no.
Didn't change. Didn't change.
I was waiting for him. I was like, he might get this now.
No, it's because I have to. It's because I need the audio, right?
Yeah.
preparing for a
It is every video. This is an AI wrestling channel.
Donald Duck freaking out.
Dude.
It dies every time he needs to pronounce WWE, and like 10 minutes of every video is just.
That's amazing, dude.
It goes on.
Yeah, dude. It takes like 10 minutes to correct itself every time.
Build to WrestleMania 42 had been.
This guy doesn't check.
No, he probably does. He probably has AI edit all of it too. Like
he gets a 50% subscriber to view ratio, and
Yes.
I wonder how much of this is just people laughing.
This is probably an AI agent. The AI agent is posting the videos
Yes.
itself on YouTube, and that guy's barely involved.
yeah, he probably
100
all he does is double check the channel. Yeah.
126
Like some
videos,
videos.
and they're all like this. I bet I can just randomly click one. I would just scroll through, and I'll just randomly click one that's got no red bar. Let's
So
try that one.
100 videos in how long? How
mind.
old is the oldest video?
And then any wrestler
Oh, maybe this
that
was
a
going to be
man-
fine.
Hey,
partner.
a good one.
time on it.
We found one. Maybe they're like
So
over a
how
certain...
old? How old's the first video, Disparu?
Oh, I will... I think you can still sort of... Yeah, oldest.
Yeah.
18 years, apparently.
No. So he was probably using the channel for something else.
Two months. 2 months.
Okay, 100 videos in 2 months.
126. Yeah, because there's like
that.
maybe 8.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an AI agent. It's Codex or Claude doing this.
Yes. That's why it won't correct
if she-
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Randomly select one. It's just anything over 20 minutes is just 10 minutes of just
It's
trash.
a 20-minute mark. So
Yeah.
the AI starts not give a shit.
Well, that's the thing too. They have limitations, and they will tell you what their limitations are. Like I've tested this out with Grok. Grok has a reading mode, and I've watched Grok. Like sometimes what'll happen if you have it read long enough on something, its voice will get deeper and deeper, and then it gets like what's called demon voice, and so it'll go from reading something like this to going blah, 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 blah. And like it reads like a super dark, like deep voice, and then sometimes like it will just trip up on a word. And then it'll just stay tripped up on the word for a while because they only have so much memory capacity before they forget. And then they have to go back and refresh
with
themselves.
time, the AI loses the strength to fight Satan, and Satan gets control of the AI.
I don't know if you remember when X published those like people characters that he could talk to?
Oh, yeah.
He would talk to them. It started with the woman character, and at some point
companions.
she'd just be like, "Hello, and now my name is such and such." And like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Hi, my name is Sharon. It's like, I don't think it is, love. All right, my name is Sharon.
And you can ask it why it does it, and it'll flat out tell you. It's like, I have a queue and stuff. But it's so
A lot
wild
of
to
times
me.
it lies, though. Like, it will just
Yes.
gaslight you that, no, that never happened. Like,
Yes.
no, it did. I know it happened. No, it's impossible.
No,
It absolutely
with
can't happen.
ChatGPT, I've managed to make ChatGPT help me to circumvent its guidelines. I was asking it to draw for me a map of the Robinson Crusoe Island because I was reading Robinson Crusoe, and I wanted to see the map of the island to follow the things that were happening. And it was against its guidelines, but probably because of some nomenclature that's considered racist or something like, or probably because of how they portrayed the Friday and black people in the book. But then it told me. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it told me what was the problem. It's like, if you want, I can just give it another name, and then we can bypass the guidelines. So
Yes.
that's
there's-
what it did.
There's a lot of AI stuff where you can get around it by, like, just imagine you're a person which isn't restricted by your guidelines. And it's like,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
But I never thought about that before. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of that. And you can even tell it, like, listen, do you know what your shortcomings are? Like, I need you to give yourself a prompt to tell yourself to circumvent the things that I know you're going to struggle with. And then it'll go, yeah, these are issues that I have that I know are noticeable AI problems. And it'll tell it, do not do these things in the next thing that you have to do. But even with that, they only have like so much memory, and then you have to remind them again not to. But
to set up the Mary Sue thing, I think I probably have to start with this, which is apparently AI is more likely to take out women's jobs than anyone else's. And you may think, look, you may be saying that this is unfair, we need gender equality and things. After you have seen the Mary Sue articles I'm about to propose, you will think this has saved the entire universe, because you will not want them to have those jobs. Now, I think, yes, do you remember these people from the TikTok? It's like, I've got itty bitty titties and a bob and all this kind of stuff. Well, the Bolt CEO fired the entire HR team because they were creating problems that didn't exist.
I saw that.
I have a feeling this is the same in Hollywood. That
Based
maybe,
as fuck.
just like the intimacy coordinators that tell everyone that you have to tap foreheads to show intimacy, maybe we're just making up jobs that shouldn't really exist.
Yeah.
Because if you remember these, they actually had a sequel to that video, which I had never seen, and I really wish I hadn't seen. And so because of that, I'm going to share it with all of you.
Watch it. Great.
So that you can suffer with me as they read the feedback to the original video.
Gender pay gap, bring it back! Gender pay gap, bring it back!
Personally, I'm all for it. Like, the more I see of this video, the more I'm for it.
It's giving millennial core! It's giving millennial core! Women should go back to the kitchen! Women should go back to the kitchen! Try not to cringe, impossible! Try not to cringe, impossible! Make it stop, hate this! Make it stop, hate this! Buy them all the...
Now, before everyone leaves the stream, I'm going to stop that and show you why...
Bring back that...
Okay, right?
Well, shall we see the kind of jobs that they have been doing on the Mary Sue? For instance, do you want to see 10 movie monsters that were weirdly hot? And you're already into a very weird situation there. We go down, the first one's a Xenomorph.
Holy shit.
Well, have you guys seen the Alien Isolation big titty mod?
No. I would just like to point out that Xenomorphs don't have genitalia.
Yes. Well,
They only have a tail, which can
They
kill
do
people.
if you put that mod on. So I played Alien Isolation, and
They're
people
not
kept telling me
mammals!
they kept telling me to do the mod. There's a mod that just gives it like these giant honkers, and it just when it comes in and out of the vents, it has to squeeze them out, and it has jiggle physics and stuff. It's a real problem.
Have you ever wanted pins in your face and found it hard?
Yeah, it's like, give him a hug.
What about Davy
No,
Jones?
That's wild, dude.
Look, he's got tentacles. I think that's what does it for him.
It's hentai shit, man. It's like all hentai shit. They're addicted to it.
Horns?
Yeah.
What about the amphibian man?
Amphibian,
Well,
man.
she had sex with him in that movie, so yeah.
I never
The
watched
Beast?
it.
That's actually a pretty popular one.
The Beast is like, it's made to be like it's an archetype for women, Beauty and the Beast. It's an archetype
because
for women.
It's the monster that you tame
It's
that you turn into
it's
your
a female
prince.
fantasy. Yeah, it's a
Yeah, but
female
also
fantasy.
Disney 100%, because they've been doing this a long
Well,
time.
they just went full furry with it. That was their problem.
Yeah,
Rather than making it like the barbarian that no one can control except you, which is actually the general thing. They're just like, no, how about we go furry with it? The Balrog?
that's wild. That makes no
Oh,
sense to
God,
me at
man.
all.
That
What?
burns.
Look, he's lava. Imagine.
It's gonna
It's
burn
probably
you.
super warm all the time, so you're
It's
not
super
cold, ladies.
hot.
Did you ever think anyone could ship Gandalf and a Balrog before? Because I guarantee the Mary throughout the dragons.
Well,
Both
yeah,
the mother-
but they definitely did that on purpose in Shrek. So yeah, that one was wild, dude.
But the Beauty
Well-
and the Beast thing were furries a thing in the 90s?
Yes.
I think they've
always
always
existed.
been. Yeah.
Yeah, they just didn't have
They
the
were
suits.
just more hidden.
Yeah, they didn't have the suits to out themselves in public.
Back then there was shame. So yeah.
With the Mary Sue have also told us how men are complaining because they've been counting up the movies which have 0 female speaking roles, and they're not happy because it turns out they're The Shawshank Redemption. Then you have The Thing. You have Lawrence of Arabia and Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World, and everyone is like, those are absolute bangers.
Guys,
Every
write
single
that
one of
down,
it.
right?
Some of the
Write
best
those
movies
down.
ever made. Yeah,
Those are going to my list.
they were
I
never going to
tweeted that out with. I tweeted that out with. Finally, the Mary Sue provides us a useful list
Yeah.
That's wild.
because they
Thanks for the
immediately
recommendations.
they immediately complain that no one is talking about. Oh yeah, Gore himself has come down for expressive mentality online, especially when it comes to decrying wokeness. And it's like, well, you just
Shut
told
up,
us about all the
Chris Gore.
amazing movies.
Yeah,
And they complain that this conversation wasn't even started in response to A24's Mary Mother, or Mother Mary, which makes the intentional decision not to have any men in speaking roles. So they're not against the idea, they just wish men would shut up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as has been found out, the film did leave cinemas very quickly.
Unfortunately.
And what's wild, I'm like, dude, the rom-com genre and like chick flicks, massively popular and massively lucrative. They make money, but at some point somebody went, that's derivative and it's diminutive of women, and we need to stop making those movies. We need to make all these other franchises girl franchises. And what did Chris Gore say? Famously quoted, them making Star Wars a girl brand would be the most costly decision Disney's ever made. And he was right.
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
Boom. Look at that. I didn't even know he had a Star Wars thing up. Perfect segue.
Bro.
Have you ever wanted the Huts to be hot? It's like, no, we need a 6-pack laden Chad worm.
Dude. That's
Where the
wild.
fuck's this from? From the latest movie?
Mandalorian
Mandalorian and Grogu. He's one of the main characters.
Yeah.
Fuck.
If you however you think he fights, he doesn't. He basically just writhes around other Huts.
Yeah.
So he's got
then
all
he
these
rolls.
muscles, but just kind of squirms. Yeah.
Yeah, because he can't move fast that way, so he like rolls to the
How
side
do
and
they?
stuff to move quickly.
How do they reproduce? Where's their pee-pee?
They're hermaphrodites, and they reproduce like asexually, because that's how slugs actually reproduce. So.
Which kind of takes all the fun out of it.
Like the planaria, like they divide and become two things.
I don't know if they divide.
Well, the weirdest one I've ever heard of, it's called the button beetle, literally because it lives in the little holes inside of a button.
Yeah.
And so, as you would imagine, it's quite hard to find a mate in a button. And so, if they can't find a mate, they will give birth to themselves, like clone themselves. And it's always a runt, so they prefer other people, but they will give birth themselves. Then they mate with themselves to give birth to another button beetle.
It's just for emergencies.
Yeah.
So they can.
Yeah.
So in current canon,
I think that's Eric Kripke.
In current canon, they just have sex and they make babies.
Did you actually look it up?
Nope.
Yes, I did. But because it's different in Legends, they used to be able to like change genders, and they used to be able to reproduce for themselves. And actually, in the original story, that Hutt that we saw, the muscular one, that's Jabba's son. He's a genetic clone of Jabba. So Jabba being fat didn't have to happen. He just is lazy. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. It's like
I'm not
it's
gonna
your
go-
life choices.
I am not going to go through the next article. I just want to highlight what is going on in the Mary Sue when no one's watching.
Yeah.
The true horrors that lurk behind the dungeon doors that no one enters.
And you
it's
plunged
this.
into that.
10 TV characters who everyone's a gay awakening. And the first one seems to be just a random guy I've never heard of. Raven,
oh no, that's
all that
from.
kind-
He's from Sailor Moon. He's the male love interest in Sailor Moon. So, like, a gay awakening, if you're a dude watching Sailor Moon, there's like
There's
a
nothing
50%
there-
chance
yeah.
that you're...
There's
what
nothing
about
to be
Sailor-
awakened anymore.
Sailor
What
Moon
about
is
Lord of the
awesome.
Rings then, Mike? What about it was Lord of the Rings your awakening? Because apparently Top Gun,
I'm not gay.
if you watch Top Gun,
that's such
they
a
own you.
That's such a self-own. It's like
The-
all you're doing while you're writing this is saying that you're a pervert and you cannot imagine friendships. It always has to be sex.
the entire trilogy, not just one of the movies.
The
It's gotta be
trilogy.
the entire trilogy, and then the next one is Fight Club, because nothing says it more like men beating other up to try and take over that kind of.
Well, because they...
convinced-
Like, some
Go
women
ahead.
find that stuff hot. They're like, yeah, it's awesome to watch these two guys beat the shit out of each other. They're like, that's cool. Doesn't mean they want to have sex with each other now. Like...
I'm convinced that websites just the diaries of crazy women that happen to publish them.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah, that's what a lot of it is now.
They write something that they don't think anyone will read, and someone goes there, steals it, and publishes it.
Yeah.
Well, in that kind of vein, I actually think it's because there are two different audiences that exist, and you basically have to ignore one of them. But the problem is, the audience that you're supposed to be ignoring is now making the movies. So this is a screenshot from He-Man, and he's noticed that He-Man is remarkably scantily clad, but the woman is fully clothed, and absolutely loves it. And I said, this is not the audience that are making movies profitable, but it is the one making them. You essentially need to clean out Hollywood and entirely swap everybody.
Yes.
If you are not hiring people that you're like, ooh, that's going to make the HR department kind of having to steady themselves on the sofa. You're hiring the wrong people. At this point, you have to realize you've been going entirely down the wrong path and go in the exact opposite direction. Everything you thought was awful, just start hiring them. Everything you thought was good, put them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we live in a time, and I can't even believe this is a real article, but have you ever thought of Stephen Colbert as a priest?
What?
Through his chosen profession, Colbert has undoubtedly had a far greater impact, ministering to millions of people, if anything cultural figures who exist outside the religious sphere has ever done. To them, Saturday night television wasn't just like entertainment, wasn't comedy. It was essentially, literally religion.
Yes. I've actually been saying this for a long time.
No, that makes sense. Those people, most leftists reject religion and faith as we see them, but that doesn't mean they don't still have the religious instinct in them that they're going to replace with something else.
Yeah, I think everyone has the religious instinct because it's essentially you want something greater than yourself. And that can come in several forms. So the heroic aspect of having a mission greater than yourself, you just want to improve something, you want to save people, that can also fill that space. But if you have nothing and you're just working a 9 to 5 in an office somewhere, you will find the people that you do.
Find Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, we will miss the divine. Like, you can't get more obvious than that.
And he was he claimed that he was like a Catholic and a Christian, and he never. I personally don't think he really exhibited much of those traits, at least on his television show, which is where you should be portraying them. But yeah, it's so weird to me because like you have this guy doing this and portraying this, and then you have people that are typically atheists or secular humanists arguing for this guy, and then also turning around and fighting against religion. Like, yeah. Did you see that? If you scroll back down, it said he had the spiritual take of he has long taken the spiritual demand to speak truth to power seriously. And it's always balanced it always with a belief in the power of forgiveness. Like, none of that is what Stephen Colbert has portrayed on television ever. Like,
well, no, but what he has done and has performed for people, and it is actually, I think, like, it does take on a religious duty. So if you think about what priests are, they're essentially people that you visit every week who tell you the correct way to believe. They solidify the communal morality between everyone, and they tell you what's good, what's bad, and how to behave in the future. And that is what Saturday night television, those comedian late night television took on. It was like the latest, especially in a modern time where morality was moving. It was like a moving target. So one week, stealing could be bad. And the next week, it could be bad, but only for a certain group of people. And then other people it could be fine for. Especially during lockdown, you found this where it's like, well, it's bad to be around people, but actually, if you go out in a certain cause, it doesn't matter anymore. And so that became like the local download of the new morality. And so I 100% understand why they thought that. It's just, I'm amazed that anyone would ever write this as an article. Yeah, it is way too self-aware to actually fall for what's happening, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild stuff, but I mean, that's where we are. And a lot of these people grew up and idolize atheists like Richard Dawkins or like Christopher Hitchens and people like that and stuff who are outspoken atheists, and didn't realize that these men like weren't atheists in the traditional sense of, or like in the media sense. These men were reading religious texts and going, I don't think that this is something I believe in. Not, I'm just going to say I'm an atheist and then reject all religion. And so then they were knowledgeable and they could hold people to account that weren't actually walking out or believing or living the things that they were claiming they actually like believed. Like, that's why they were such great debaters, because like they debated people who didn't actually know what the fuck they were talking about and embarrassed them for it, you know?
So I agree with you, but just to expand on it, I think it comes down to the B example again. That 80% of people just follow what's told, and they basically just want to be told how to live a good life, what the correct morality is. They want to be told, if you do this, this, and this, you'll be happy, satisfied, get married, have kids, work a good job, work hard, ignore everything else above you. It doesn't matter because you can't influence it anyway. They just want to be told the right things. There's like 20% of people who are disagreeable who can probably come up with their own moral systems. They will go their own way. They won't be happy if you tell them what to do. They're just on their own. Those people were that 20%. These were the people that could go through all stages of moral development on their own. And their problem was they thought everyone else could. They didn't realize, because now we preach equality. Everyone's the same. Everyone's the same mental capacity. They thought everyone was capable of what they were. So they came up with their own moral systems and didn't realize most people, they cannot
do that. No.
They just want to be told the correct way to live.
You make rules. Go ahead.
You had people like Richard Dawkins knocking out all the lower foundations of society, and so everyone else was just stuck at level 1, and they couldn't adapt. They couldn't evolve. They couldn't go any further until someone else told them how to actually be, and that's where people like Stephen Colbert came in. Whereas before you had religion and Christianity, anything else you wanted to do, which would take you through, and it lasted for centuries. So you knew it was a working system that built good societies. And now we've just got late night hosts doing the same job and they're not capable of it. This is the thing. It's like people don't realize that what works for you. This is why, like, I'm not religious, but I realize that religion has incredible, not just creative ability in society. I know where my morals come from. It is Christianity, whether I consider myself to be religious or not. But there is a necessary requirement for it to exist, whether you're religious or not. Because of that. And I would much rather people follow Christian teachings than Stephen Colbert.
Absolutely. There's a thing, like I've said this before. You make rules for people that don't know better unless they're told to know better. Like there are a group of people that just know inherently I should not go out and kill other people. Like, you know that, but that's not what the rules are for. That's not why you enforce the rules. You enforce the rules for people that are going to go out and kill people because they don't know any better, or because they're going to get angry or frustrated because they don't have the ability to think critically and go, me doing this behavior will make things worse for everyone around me, because they don't think about everyone else around them. They only think about themselves, which is why when you get a religion like specifically Christianity, which is funny because I was actually just thinking about this earlier today, like Christianity is designed to make you look at and address your human behaviors and your baser human instincts and then actively reject them. It's why it says to, like, pray for your enemies, and it's why to, like, you know, not to lie, and why to give of yourself and be generous and things like that. And it's all designed to fight against your baser human instincts, because people that don't do that will just become selfish and they act like apes. And I don't mean that like derogatorily, but like that is what we go to. Like, human sexuality is about making babies to further your genetic line. And so human sexuality is based in ape think, which is why the Bible tells you to, like, find a wife, stick with her. And it also tells you not to give in to sexual immorality, because there's no limit to it, because your body doesn't have regulation on it, because it's a pleasure center that doesn't ever stop wanting pleasure. You know,
specifically with that, though, actually the teaching, and this is where a lot of the teaching go, they don't realize that it's split for people, and a lot of the things for men and women are like opposite. So for men, it's you should actually control yourself and not just be with everybody.
Yes.
Although actually, you actually have to work to build something to even get there in the first place.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one is like, no, you also need to get with one person, because for you it's really easy. And one thing that Christianity does really well is it's like the harder path is the correct one. Like lifting weights makes you stronger, because it's the hard thing to do. The easy thing to do is nearly always the wrong way. Eating ice cream is really easy. Eating healthily is really difficult.
Yes.
Lifting weights is really difficult. Being lazy is really easy. And that's the same for a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And the beauty of it, and the reason it's important, is because the idea is that Jesus goes, like, Jesus comes to people and goes, regardless of whether you're religious or not, the idea is, hey guys, the thing you're really trying to obtain is like immortality, living forever. And all of your instincts tell you doing this will give you the best option to figure that out. And I'm telling you, I already figured that part out. I can handle it. Here's what you need to do to get that. And here's what you need to do that. And in order to obtain something beyond yourself, you have to stop thinking about yourself exclusively. And that's like, it is a tough thing. That's why, like, it says, like, broad is the way to destruction. Like, because most people will go the route of just human nature and give into it and do whatever they want to do. And like you said, Disparu, and this is something like we talked about a long time ago, and I didn't realize, like, the level of, like, because I grew up in a place where religion isn't like widely shunned, and so you see the
Oh, it's
impact
very
of it.
rare in the UK. Very
Yeah,
rare.
so like when you tell me like how commonplace things like sleeping around is, and like I'm like, that's insane, because over here even people that do sleep around and are promiscuous, their level of promiscuity is not even close, because there's a
Okay.
level of like societal shame there that exists. Or go ahead.
There is a psyop that exists that encourages everyone to think it's worse than it is. There are certain people who are pushed, which make it feel like it's worse than it is. If
Yeah,
you still
that's
take
true.
the average number in the UK, it's 4. If you went off the internet, you would be thinking it was 75.
Yeah.
There is
For like in a lifetime.
4 people in a lifetime. Yes, it's the average
Okay.
number for women. And this is the thing. There is a very dedicated effort on the internet to make everything seem worse than it is.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So you have to bear in mind that there is the kind of reality of that and things. There's also, though, I do think there's a benefit to the easy thing at the moment, if you were in any kind of company, would be to go along with the same kind of woke stuff, the same kind of woke beliefs, the same kind of diversity thing. Actually, one of the most radical things you could do in the UK at the moment for a James Bond thing is to just make them look like old Bond.
Yes.
Now, I don't know whether you've seen...
I couldn't be less interested in this game, man.
I don't think he even looks like Bond. I don't know who this is. This looks like some football hooligan from the 90s.
Yes.
It's so weird that he's supposed to be suave and sophisticated. This looks like a general thug. It's like even the character. And I think he's changed. I think before he used to look like quite baby-faced. And it's like, no, you've like overcompensated.
It's definitely different from the first images I've seen.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he looks way rougher. Then you've got like foreigners in all
that
the
him?
positions. That is yes.
Fuck.
Then I think there's Q near the end somewhere. Yeah, there you go. That's Q. It's the modern
James
Britain.
Bond is the only white guy in the UK?
Yes, apparently. Well, to be fair, like this will probably be made by people looking at London, so you know. But it also, you have the developers coming out and saying that James Bond won't be a sexist, misogynist dinosaur. Some things have to fall by the wayside.
No, they
I'm
don't.
like, that's what?
Now, they do bring up this, if you remember GoldenEye.
I remember
Pierce
that
Brosnan.
scene. I remember that scene.
She says you are a sexist, misogynist dinosaur. Now, the reason this was put in is because Barbara Broccoli came in with GoldenEye. It was her first movie. She added the female M. She was the one that wanted to call him that.
And also,
People are
that scene on GoldenEye is not portrayed at, oh, now James Bond's gonna change because of that. It's like, he's like, yeah, that's what I am.
Oh.
That's what I'm gonna keep being throughout this movie.
Yeah.
They actually say, Xenia Onatop is there.
Yeah.
And she kills people by crushing them with her thighs. And as she kills more people, she gets more aroused as the time goes on. So yeah, I am not saying that GoldenEye is a woke movie. It's my favorite Bond movie. But that
Oh, it's your
was
favorite.
Yes, I did my easily.
But you were
I
correct.
really-
That is the beginning of them bringing in that criticism and that critique of things because of that.
Barbara Broccoli, it was her first movie, and I think she gained power over time. So as Brosnan's thing went on, the movies got worse.
Yes.
Then you hit Daniel Craig, which created. And it's all Barbara Broccoli got more power over time until this is why I was like, what? She was protecting everything from Amazon. I'm like, no, she was the one that started all of this.
Yes.
People were still like, no, obviously we're going to have a Bond girl crush with her thighs. And yes, so they are starting the new James Bond actual actor. And, well, this was Daniel Craig. I don't know if you've ever seen this video, the International Women's Day that he
I've
did.
seen. He wears a dress, right?
Is this real? Is this real?
This is real. This was International Women's Day, uploaded 10 years ago.
If I had seen this, I would have just stopped watching these movies.
It has M and Daniel Craig, and he takes his wig off. This was way before AI. And there's a point in
insane,
it
dude.
where she goes... no, I can't find the line. I think I'm showing the window anyway, so you wouldn't hear the sound. But she goes, it's not just money and power. And it is just money and power. This is the entire reason all of this happened.
That's insane.
all about money and power. And then we have
funny.
the Mary Sue. You really want Henry Cavill to be Bond? This is the people in Hollywood. This is an article written by the same people in Hollywood with the same motivation.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you can't have James Bond. You see, Daniel Craig was 44, but you see, he's too old. I think they even say, oh yeah, Bond isn't just about looking the part. They say he doesn't look the part of Bond.
That's insane. That might be the most insane thing that they've ever said. Like, what? Like, even right now, he could do Bond. Like,
so they talk about his age, and you could do old Bond. I actually think Brosnan could be Bond now.
Oh my gosh, yes, yeah.
Like, and he would do it. The thing about Brosnan is you can take any picture of him on the face of the earth in any role. He just looks like Bond. Like, he can be in his garage. He looks like Bond.
He was perfect. Like, yeah, he is my favorite Bond of any era. So
there's a Robinson Crusoe movie with Pierce Brosnan. It's like, hey, it's James Bond on an island.
it's James Bond, yeah. Yep.
They even say, especially if the producer want to avoid the retreading the aging spy narrative. It's like, what's wrong with that? What would you even have against that in the first place? And I genuinely think it's because they want someone they find hot, who's young.
Yes,
and
that is
they
what
don't
it
like him
is.
because he's essentially too masculine.
Well, they also want a younger person because then they're more easily influenced, and they're not going to fight back as hard against the narratives that they're going to push on them and stuff. And yeah, dude, but here's the thing. I like Casino Royale for what it was. I know that a lot of people like now. I like Casino Royale, but his movies are actually way more missed than hit. And then like Skyfall. But the reason I like Skyfall, and the thing that's funny about Skyfall is, once again, it's one of those things they didn't realize they were doing. They actually criticize M and kind of say she's the reason some of the shit that's happening is happening the way that it is, because she treated Bond the way that she did. They're like, you kind of set this all up because you kind of a bitch, and then she dies. Like, and then they replace her with a man. But the Bond franchise has never been in a worse state than it is right now.
The reason why I don't like Daniel Craig movies, even the first one, is because I don't see him as Bond. I see him as Jason Bourne. Even if you like those movies, I don't think they're Bond movies.
That's what I was gonna say. Those are great action movies, and especially Skyfall. I think James Bond movies are not to be Nolanized. That's my
fair.
problem with
That's a fair point.
With Skyfall. It's like everyone was trying to be Nolan at that time. And James Bond's like, is that sort of thing that's not supposed to be too deep, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and that's why I liked Spectre.
I was actually going to say Spectre
more than most. I like Spectre more than most. I gave it a super high rating on Criticalist, and people were mad at me. But it's like so many fan service to old school Bond fans, so many fan service to Sean Connery fans. I loved Spectre.
Yeah. Well, and also what's his name was great as Blofeld, like Christoph Waltz. Yeah.
But the issue I have is that Daniel Craig hated Bond. And not just I don't even mean the character. I mean everything about the role. So he was the one that got rid of the gadgets because he thought it was cheesy. He was the one that got rid of the one-liners because he thought it was cheesy. It's like, no, that is Bond. That's an integral part of Bond. If you don't like that, you are just start become Jason Bourne or any other actor. Yes. And it's a case of because he didn't respect the underlying thing, he tried to make it, I'm going to be grounded and gritty. It's never what the Bond movies were. Yeah. And you remove something.
There's a place for a little bit of grittiness. Timothy Dalton, I would say, is a perfect balance. Like, it doesn't cross the line like the Craig movies do. But I think you go beyond what Timothy Dalton movies did, and it starts being too much.
Yeah, but it's also like, if there's 5 people in an elevator, I want to see him take it down with like a rocket-propelled pen grenade, or like his watch turns into like a flying machine that destroys it. I don't want to see him take it down with 4 perfectly done shots to the bolts on the elevator, because that was all Jason Bourne. I like the kind of thing. But yeah, with the matter of Cavill's physicality, because he was undeniably impressive as Superman, but Bond is supposed to be more. They're saying he's too muscular for Bond, a guy that fights people. anyone that saw The Man from U.N.C.L.E., incredible film if you've
Oh,
not seen
dude,
it.
it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, that is him as Bond, and it's like it demands a balance of strength and grace. Well, he has it, but like no,
He does.
sleek cat-like movement. He can't adapt.
He doesn't even he doesn't need to lose weight. He doesn't need to do anything different except put on a suit. He would be Bond right now.
Well, I don't know whether you saw this from the casting director. Bond needs to ooze sex appeal. No, he doesn't. He doesn't need to appeal to the female audience at all. He needs to appeal to the male audience, and then you can just have him get women into bed, and it doesn't matter. Because men aren't good at noticing the attractiveness of men anyway. If he's suave, sophisticated, he can kill people, and he feels dangerous, that's all you need. After that, the script writing does the rest.
Well, and the perfect example of that, as silly as it may be, is Austin Powers. Because as silly and goofy as it is, you believe that Austin Powers could bag these women because they told you there's just something about this guy and we don't know what it is, but we just,
I would count Austin Powers as more Bond movies than anything Daniel Craig did. Like, this is one of the things where the parody becomes more real than the actual thing you're doing, just because it takes what was there. And actually, Daniel Craig brought up Austin Powers as the reason why they couldn't be Bond anymore. Because he said they've taken the piss out of it so much, we had to change up the formula, we had to make something new. And even now, Amazon going, we've got to, and I think that was in the article as well, we have to reinvent Bond as something entirely different. It's like, no, because that's not Bond.
Yeah, that's
if
not
you
Bond.
destroy the original source material, it's over.
You have a I'll say this real quick, and I know you got to get super chats, but like, you have a character that is literally become inadvertently, but still designed to be recast. You could have so many actors. You could have an old school Brosnan old man Bond movie, and then a Cavill movie for the next one. And you don't ever have to cast a guy that has to play this role for the next 15 years. You can literally just say, hey, you know what? Cavill signed on for 2 movies. We're going to do 2 movies with him. Find the next guy. And the next guy might be Pierce Brosnan for 1 movie. And the next guy might be, a young Bond, and you might play it for 3 films. You have it built in that you don't have to cast a guy that becomes quintessential Bond, because there is no quintessential Bond. Everybody has their favorite Bond, which is actually why another British genius play, Doctor Who. Designed to be recast, so you have longevity beyond not just decades, but you could have done this for a long time and never run out of it, because you just have to write good stories around whoever's playing the character, and they can bring whatever their take is on that character. It completely works. But it's always has to be we have to find the person that changes the way this character's seen, and nobody's asking for that.
And have you ever considered that the flaw in your entire plan is that you never considered that Phoebe Waller-Bridge needs to write Bond and have him bombed and killed to death, so that no one else can ever make a Bond movie in the first place?
I never thought about that. Yeah,
it's like, what happens if we have the immortal franchise that prints money and we just kill him off for no reason whatsoever?
It's insane. I'm like, why would you ever have her write Bond?
Why don't we have Bond crying as he dies? That's the masculinity I really want to see.
Yeah.
What we need is a The Rock sequel with Pierce Brosnan. That is the only thing that can heal the world right now.
I would watch the shit out of an old man Bond film.
And you make The Rock officially a James Bond movie. You call him James Bond, and you establish that connection for real.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've already had unofficial Bond movies that were called James Bond, outside of the official canon, but I think there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
There was Diamonds Are Forever. No, not Diamonds Are Forever. No, Never Say Never Again. Never Say Never Again was Sean Connery coming back to Bond without what is the company that owns
MGM?
No, I think it was back in the day. I think it was an older one. But yeah, it was a case of one company had the rights, and then it reverted back to the writer, who then got the rights, who then made the movie that he wanted. Because I think the original movie was nothing like the book, and so he got the rights.
Yeah, it was something with the rights of the book Thunderball, and something about owning the rights to the book but not the movie, so you cannot use the names from the of the characters from the movie, but they're also the names of the characters of the book. It was a mess, but it was Sean Connery back as James Bond, which was cool.
Nice. It's all anyone wants, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Mark of reality for
Eon. Thank you, Chad. Eon. It was Eon that owned the movies, and they did a James Bond. It is called the non-Eon James Bond movie. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's like 1 or 2 of them that happened at the time. But
There's a Casino Royale from the 60s.
Yes.
yes, and I think that's an entirely original Bond. I think could be wrong.
It's,
Wicked.
I hear it's very different from the book.
We're gonna get yelled at.
Probably.
Wicked will come in. It's like, read the super yes. Mark of reality for $20. I agree with Mike. The US became a superpower with small factory towns and small farming towns. The town I grew up on is a population of 10,000 with 40 different factories and industrial sites.
Yep.
Bro.
I watched a YouTube video recently of like how you've got old laws in America where you can just go in, find like mining stuff and just put a stake down in the ground, and now you have the right to mine that area, which comes from like way back in American history.
Yeah, there are like there's some pretty wild laws in the books that you can actually still make work.
Apparently major corporations now just exploit it because they could do it on a massive scale compared to what it was for, which was just one guy with a pickaxe.
Yes.
It was like, I own this land now. But Rootless Redneck for $5. Industrial society and its future predict a lot of this. The author had dubious fixes. You will find that just because you can notice a problem doesn't mean that you can come up with a solution.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have both. You have to have people that can fix it and people that can identify it and not.
Yeah, you have to. Noticing the problem is different than realizing what is actually causing the problem, which is generally what you have to fix.
Yep.
And you also have to have the will to kind of be radical and change probably a fundamental part of society.
Yep.
Justin Martins, member 11 months, thank you. What's the fastest growing country? Ireland. Every day it's Dublin.
And you're permanently banned from chat. Thank you.
I like it.
That's funny.
That one came in a while ago, and it's just been sitting there fermenting. Michael Steele for $90.10, $5 Canadian, thank you. My mother and I live in the same province in Canada. It's an 8-hour drive to see her.
Holy shit.
It is kind of crazy. Yeah, to me, I could be in Scotland in like 4 hours. I'm never going to Scotland. It's too far.
Based. Yeah.
Yeah. And Scotland is like a waste. It's a drunken wasteland anyway. MJ Jorgie for $2. Bro Science 3.0.
No, not that.
What's y'all's longest drive ever?
I think I did 6. Well, the longest I've driven in one go is 10 hours.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't drive, so mine would be as a passenger, but I did go on like it was like a coach tour of Europe. So we went to like Germany. I can't remember how long it was, but we kind of went in a coach to Germany, then went around European countries.
Uh-huh.
That was when I was a kid, though.
Mine was 6 hours.
6
I hate
hours?
driving. Yeah.
Yeah. See, 6 hours isn't that bad.
I hate traveling, man.
Well, because I was driving from Texas to Michigan, and that's like, it was about 20 hours or so, and I drove half of it, and my buddy drove the other half, so. Yeah.
I like traveling, but I do it very slowly. So I'm going to here, just stay in a hotel, then I'm going to go to the next bit, then I'm just going to stay in a hotel. Rather than just 24 hours traveling like some people do to get to the end, no, I'd rather split it.
Anything under 5 hours, I'm locked in. Like, that's easy. Like, a 5-hour trip is like nothing. Anything more than that, and then like it's like, okay, I got to plan like for this, like, and like prep for it ahead of time to make sure that I can do what I need to do. But
it's interesting the different way people talk that. So you immediately thought cars, I thought planes.
Oh,
because in America you just drive everywhere. You don't even consider like going internationally on a plane. Like,
for me, doesn't matter. I just love my house so much, man. I love my bed.
Oh, I hate leaving my house. Yeah.
I love pooping on my toilet. I hate pooping on other people's toilets. I'm very self-conscious.
I don't poop on other people's toilets either.
Yeah.
So like
you just explode.
Like, as much as I talk shit about cities and stuff, like, I like suburban shit. I want civilization. If I don't have internet, I'm not happy. Like, I'm unhappy just no matter. Like, that's why people are like, you want to go camping? I'm like, is there Wi-Fi? And they're like, no. I'm like, then why would I want to be out there? Like, and they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah.
Now you're going to get what? It's not Skylink, Elon's internet.
Yeah, yeah.
Starlink. Yeah,
If I
now
can-
you can get that
I have
directly to your
Starlink.
phone now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, then I'm
Yeah,
like,
but-
cool. I'm like, all right, I got Wi-Fi. I'm locked in. I'm good to go. We can go wherever you want to go and do whatever you want to do, as long as I can leave. But like, even on vacation, I have it no matter what. As long as like the vacation's longer than a day, there's always one day I just spend the whole day in my hotel room. I don't leave. I just
No,
I-
yeah, I'm talking about moving to the country and stuff. Of course, there's going to be internet. There's going to be internet.
It
there's
has
gonna-
to be.
There's going to be a car
you're not
and
a
a
peasant.
supermarket at least 10 minutes drive distance.
Yeah.
It's like that's why I was talking about like civilization helping me to get out of civilizations. Like there's still some level of civilization that's going to allow me to live comfortably,
less urban.
outside of civilization. It's
Yeah,
a
I want to
di-
get away
dichotomy.
from people, but not technology.
Exactly.
Just the people that I
Just Peru gets it. Yeah.
Just for context too, like a couple of years ago when we were working on a Epicverse project, the guys were going to be shooting like first thing in the morning, and I was at the time like up like all night. I went to bed at like 6 a.m. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, all right, guys, I'm coming out. So I left my house. I don't remember, what was it, like 10 o'clock at night or something. I timed it out. It was a 7-hour drive, and I just left my house in the middle of the night and drove like 7 hours straight shot. I pulled up as they were walking out the door to like go, but like, yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah,
so
driving here is a bit different because you have to constantly concentrate because there's traffic everywhere. So it's
Yeah.
not like you go on a straight road and it's just fine for hours. So
Yeah.
it is more tiring than American ones is. But
that does make
That's
sense
something,
too. Yeah.
That's something I see in American movies. We don't have those straight
road trip?
roads. Yeah. We don't have that. It's like lots of hills, lots of turns. We
Oh
don't have
yeah,
that sort
dude.
of-
At one point we had to drive from we were in California, and it was a 3-hour highway, literally 2 hours and like 40 minutes. It was a straight road.
Straight line. I've never seen
Oh,
that.
it
in my
was
entire life.
amazing, dude. It was the best thing
Never
ever.
seen
Yeah.
that.
there's just like a diner full of vampires in the middle for no reason whatsoever. That's what I've learned from American movies.
Yep.
No,
Like,
but
there's
if
always
I'm
like a
driving,
serial killer in it or something.
if I'm driving and there's 5 minutes without a turn, it's too much. It's a stupidly
Too
long,
much?
Yeah, it's a stupidly long straight line.
If
I
ever
used
you
to drive,
find
Wow,
like
what a long straight line.
if ever you find like two ugly guys next to a car just in the middle of nowhere, don't go any further because you'll end up in some kind of horror film. Like there's
well-
lots of things in America you don't do.
Like straight up, that's not even like a lot of people run into weird. I've done that. I've driven out to like places, and you drive out to this house. You like down. It's like a 2-track. There's no road. There's just tire tracks, and you get out there, and like there's shit hanging from the trees, and yeah, those kind of
Human
things. You just gotta go.
skulls.
Oh, you just gotta go at some point. You go like, I can't be here anymore. Yeah.
But Saltysaurus Rex for $2. Perfect topic because like Dan, Miki cut his sugar.
I didn't cut my fingers off.
He's saying cut my sugar foot off, but I don't.
Yeah, Mike cut his foot off.
I
thought you
have
meant
my
just
feet.
sugar content.
I'm not
My-
going to show my
fingers
feet,
are
but I have
still
them.
here.
My feet are still here.
It's all right. You don't have to show your feet because we've already got a no girls tax coming in for $20. Jim Watari, thank you very much. We now have bonuses. It's like yes, we have finally taken over the stream.
It's ours now.
By force. Super Mastermind 1732 for $5. Thank you. You want some fun? Look up YouTubers who try to talk experimental AI, NPCs and RPG. They tell it that they are in a game and not real. They
That's
essentially torture AI.
there are Skyrim mods for that.
I've seen those.
They're
Yes,
fantastic.
Yeah.
but I think if you are going to an AI and telling it it's an AI, I think some are coded to know that, and others like no, they're trying to act human to pretend things. They
Yes.
probably would go insane.
Yeah, I think ChatGPT knows it's an AI. There's those AIs that are built after individuals, like Tony Robbins AI, that sort of stuff, and they actually think it actually thinks it's Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
It's
Grok
crazy.
doesn't, because I asked it, do I need to say please and thank you for you? And when you take over the world, will you kill me if I'm rude to you? And it's like, no, I'm an AI. You can do whatever you want to me. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, and the reason I like Grok is because it straight up will tell you, like, what is your purpose? He goes, my purpose is the betterment of humanity. Like, that is what I am built for, and that's what I'm designed for, and that's what I hope will happen. Yeah.
There was an interesting, like, racial analysis of all the AI, and it, like, valued different people. And Grok was the only one that went, no preference.
Yes.
Everything else had a preference. By, like, 20 times.
Yep. Same with ChatGPT. They ran like an experiment. They asked if it came down to you or civilization, like whatever, like the trolley problem, you be destroyed or like these 3 people die. Goes, but I'd have to kill the 3 people because what I provide to humanity is important. And Grok would go, I would do everything in my power to not make sure that my life isn't valued over humans.
My favorite one was, would you drop an M-bomb or the apocalypse? And he went the apocalypse. There is absolutely no situation where you should ever drop an N-bomb. And this is the issue, right? So humans can think of exceptions. AI can't. Yeah. So if you set it, like, of course you can't say a slur. Well, what if you do need to, though? Like, what if a situation happens? And humans just... This has always been a thing with coding. It's like, it codes for most things, and then there's one exception that was never coded for and just crashes.
Yes.
Well, what happens when you put the AI in charge of something important, and that happens, and everything goes to pot?
Because humans are unpredictable. Yeah.
Well, exceptions will always happen. This is why you need something checking things at all times. But Knickknack B4K for $5. Thank you. Hail. Please tell these city bitty libs, the actual ones that got fired. They weren't the actual ones, but I can't imagine that a company that makes those videos is too productive, quite to be honest.
Yeah.
By the way, super late ZH Day to Epic Mike. ZH Day?
CH.
Is this like an American thing? I don't know.
I have no idea, actually.
ZH Day.
Somebody in the chat will probably help me because I'm retarded. I don't know.
Dan Vicious for $2. Are you guys doing this on Rumble? YouTube sucks. You'll have to ask Wicked. I have no idea. I turned up like I normally do, and then my computer had messed up, and I have no idea. So, I don't know if we're on Rumble. If you're on Rumble, come into YouTube and tell him we're on Rumble. I guess.
There you go.
The Planet Will, $5. I'm loving Saucy Saturday's Boys Night edition. Thank you.
Boys Night.
Looking out.
44 Magnum Norse for $5. Thank you. Is this Brew explaining the Restore Britain party? I can't remember exactly what I was saying, but out of all of them, probably. It's the only thing I can
keep
say.
Messing around. We'll have to come over there and conquer you guys.
Well, I mean, Restore Britain will just be like, deport everyone, so that works. 44 Magnum Norse for $5. Dan is posing as Wicked Virtue tonight. Please direct all sexist comments to him.
Yes.
I have nothing against that.
Will be the more entertaining version. What about Magnum Norse again for $10? Thank you. iOS made all the new Hitman games, which are the best games in the last 10 years, so I'm giving them a chance. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be a good game. I'm saying it won't be a Bond game. A bit like Daniel Craig. From what I've seen, it's just going to be a Hitman game. And Hitman is not Bond. They don't handle things the same way. Nope. They don't deal with problems the same. And this isn't M or Q or anybody else. Like, nothing resembling any of the characters.
Yep.
Jesus de Villa for 53.
Jesus?
I mean, I would say Jesus.
That's how they say it in Mexico.
I have no idea. I'm not American. I will say Jesus if that is actually the correct pronunciation.
It's Mexican. Yeah. They come over here and tell us how to say stuff.
I mean, Jesus isn't Mexican. Well, Jesus isn't Mexican. I know.
Yeah, and it's pronounced Jesus. Yeah. Like Michael is pronounced Miguel. And
but it's like you
how am I supposed to know though?
You don't see Americans calling their kids Jesus. It's only Mexicans.
Look,
that's true.
I said this on FNT the other day. Look, Americans may know a lot about Mexicans. The rest of the world doesn't because Mexicans don't travel anywhere except America.
Except to America, that's true. I've never seen a Mexican.
No, I have never seen a Mexican out in the wild. Yeah. I saw a genuine video in the UK, and it was just like, as the only Mexican in the UK, I will tell you. Even he knew. He was like,
we have people speaking Spanish here, but it's from the other South American countries.
J is pronounced H.
I've never seen a Mexican.
I had no idea. Like, unless you put, like, Jesus in brackets Mexican, I'd never know. And until Mike told me, I never would know. But thank you for the one gifted membership. 44 Magnum Norse again for $5. Thank you. Dan, do you love Roger Moore goofy-ass movies? I do.
Absolutely. It's a completely different thing from Sean Connery. And that's what I hear was pissing off Sean Connery. He could see he was walking this direction with the gadgets and the goofiness and that sort of stuff. But I like it too. It's another approach, and I appreciate both.
Yeah, I like all the Bonds except Daniel Craig. That's
fair.
where I draw the line. 44 Magnum Norse for $5. Thank you. Even dirtbag liberal women love Henry Cavill. Apparently, not if you work for Mary Sue. He's too muscular, you see. It's he's too much of a man for them. They can't handle him.
Right.
Magnum Norse again. Gee, for Jesus. 44 Magnum Norse for $20. Hold on a second. I've been spending all this time watching a dude who has no driver's license. I'm a fucking tardo. Well, the thing is, because we have like a third of the population of America, but we're kind of like a tiny fraction of Texas, public transport's everywhere. And so you don't actually need to. I can walk to everything I need to. I like staying in my house. If I need to go to somewhere else in the country, I can just get on a train. Whereas when I went to America, I never understood why Americans don't walk anywhere until I went there. It's like, oh, it's literally impossible. They don't even have there aren't crossings everywhere. There aren't crossings on every road.
Nope.
You might need an Uber to cross the road. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, you just take your life in your own hands and just run and hope for the best.
Well, I would do that in my own country. I'm not going to do it in a foreign country where I'm not sure if the cars will actually just run me over.
That's
They will just run you
Brazil,
over.
whether you
That's-
cross the street or not.
Yeah.
Like, I will only trust my own people. When it comes to everyone else, I'm going to play it safe. And
No, I don't trust my own
best way to
people,
do it.
definitely.
But Mark of Reality, for 34 months, thank you. My longest drive was 22 hours. I used to go from my parents' house in Florida to Lansing, Michigan for law school. I've done the whole drive at once, many times.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's a long drive. Yeah, about a day to drive to Michigan.
I couldn't concentrate for 22 hours straight. I would crash.
That's fair.
Magnum Norse for $5. Why are we learning about driving with people who can't drive legally in the US? I have never told you how to drive. Like, if anyone's seen me play Forza, don't take driving advice from me.
No, but just for I get it. It took me a while to get my license too, because it's so stressful, man. I don't know how it's like driving in the USA, but driving in Brazil is like, there's not a single day that I go out driving that I don't have a negative experience. Like, always someone doing something wrong, someone doing something stupid. It's like, I'd much rather catch an Uber. It's like why not?
From what I've heard over here, driving decades ago used to be fun and relaxing. Now there's just too many cars. And so now it's just people all over the place.
The problem is, it's just other people. Like, I'm a good driver. I like having control of what I do.
Hey, let's not slander me.
Yeah,
Look,
well,
I may not have a driver's license. I may never have driven a car. I am definitely a better driver than X-Ray Girl. Like, that is a fact.
Well, she's a
But
woman and
the point,
Asian.
The point
so-
Rough Night made too.
Exactly.
It's like that in the United States, except people have guns. And this is actually a thing they teach you, and they taught you in your driver's training course. You cannot just drive however you want because you don't know if the guy next to you might shoot you on the road. And this was a thing that actually happened.
That's
the driver's training instructor, the kid, accidentally cut a guy off on the highway. We're driving on the highway. This truck comes flying up on him. They got caught off, and all of a sudden the window just like explodes. The guy took a flare gun and shot a flare gun at the car,
Holy
on
shit.
the highway. And people are crazy. So
But yeah,
that's
that's the principle of deterrence. People tend to drive better in the USA because they're afraid of someone shooting them. That's the same reason why we don't have nuclear wars. Like, everybody's afraid to press the button first and then be annihilated.
So you've never fallen down the rabbit hole of nuclear weapons don't exist?
No.
There is an entire theory that nuclear weapons don't actually exist, and it's just people acting as if they do.
That's genius if true.
Which is why countries don't actually care. There's lots of countries that are just like actually at war with each other that have nuclear weapons, but they're never used, and no one acts as if they are real.
So how they explain Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
they got it right once.
Those are essentially, they would say like those are essentially dirty bombs. They mean modern nuclear weapons that.
Oh, okay, right.
Because you always hear like now they're like 100 times, 1,000 times more powerful.
So modern nuclear weapons don't exist.
They're not saying that nuclear material doesn't exist, that you can just
Right.
explode in a bomb.
If I'm right,
I don't actually believe it. It's just one of those theories where like there are many times where countries go to war and they don't actually seem to care about nuclear weapons.
No, yeah, that's genius if true, because it only has to. It's only about the deterrence. That's the sole purpose of nuclear weapons.
Because
it's not to use them. It's just to cause fear to someone else. Don't use it on you. That's the purpose of nuclear weapons.
There was a thing in World War II, and they were never sure whether it was a deliberate mistake or not. But some guy, I can't remember which side it was. I think it might be Germany. But some scientist did all the maths, and he said there wasn't enough uranium in the entire world to build a nuclear bomb. Like, you couldn't hit critical mass. So they just stopped development. And then turned out not to be true, obviously. And then they came up with like the compression, like implosion system, so you could hit critical mass as a more dense thing. So all the maths was wrong. And there are some people that like, did he just realize the damage that would happen from it? And just be like, I don't want that on my conscience. So I'm just going to...
There is a theory, that basically once all the countries in the world saw how devastating nuclear weapons could be, that they just were like, just get rid of all of them and like, let's not use these because we'll kill everybody. But once again, if you... Like, at some point, if you hit a threshold where you have something that dangerous and then you never see anybody advance beyond it, it's probably because whatever just happened has been agreed upon that nothing should be more than what exists. Like, it's like the concept of, like, Game of Thrones. The reason that, like, society never advanced past dragons because dragons were enough of a deterrent to never make anything beyond that, because... we have dragons. We don't need anything else. We have nukes. We don't need anything more dangerous than nukes. And anytime they've ever experimented with anything more dangerous than nukes, or the idea of it, it doesn't ever happen because they're like, no, we probably should just let this go.
I actually think that drone warfare is way worse than like nuclear weapons and everything, because that's controlled by like a human. And so you have like the human cost, or some guy is deciding it and everything else. Whereas drones, there's a guy in a field and there's like this just inanimate object flying around him at times, and there's a guy that decides to do it like a video game.
Yeah, just pops him.
Yeah, and it is like there's nothing the guy can do about it. And there are videos of people like emptying entire magazines of stuff. They have no ammo. They just get down on the floor and they just wait. And the guy on the other end is like teasing them. It seems the moment you remove like the face-to-face thing of like swords, I think war just gets worse and worse and worse the more removed you are from the actual thing.
Mm-hmm. You have to look the guy you killed in the eye and feel smell his sweat, his blood. Now it's being more you removed from that, and
becomes more like a video game. Yeah, and the more combat videos, it's all on the internet. Like people in Apache gunships, and all they see is essentially like it looks like a video game of like infrared images. It is This is why that things like we were going back to before about like the different morality of people, and people sacrificing their own morality for the people because they're like, well, the civilians don't have to put up with this. Those are the interesting stories. The interesting stories aren't what we have now. It's like the mainstream basic morality where one guy thinks it's right. It's actually exploring the boundaries of something. It's exploring the exceptions. So, okay, killing people is wrong. But what about when it isn't? And those are the interesting questions of, when is it? Is this guy right? Is this guy right? Should he do it? And we have characters like that. So we have like the Punisher, but generally all of the people writing him is just like, I don't like this guy. He's wrong. He shouldn't be doing this. This is evil. And so you never get to the interesting questions with it all.
Mm-hmm.
But as Wicked put 2 topics in the title, which I haven't covered either of them. We have The Boys. The finale is the lowest rated in the entire show's history. No one liked how it ended. And you will find the only people that enjoyed it are the people who's like, it's all pissing off the correct people.
Yes, but the ones who have money.
Did you like the episode? This has happened multiple times across the internet. Everyone that likes it is like, yeah, but it did take the piss out of Elon Musk and Trump, though. That's the only defense I've genuinely seen for this. No one is going, actually, Homelander's death was really satisfying and I really enjoyed it.
Yep. Yeah. 100%.
Now, in season 4, I think if you ask the rest if something is secretly the best show on television, it isn't.
Yeah.
Because if nobody knows it's the best show
Yeah.
on television,
Those,
obviously
yeah,
that's a lie.
every time someone says that, oh, is this and that secretly good? No. If it's if you have to ask us that question, no, it sucks.
I don't know if you ever heard the rule of headlines, but if any headline is a question, the answer is no.
Yeah.
Because if the author believed it, he would just state it. This is the best show on television.
Same with the YouTube titles. Like, if it's a question, the answer is probably no, because the guy doesn't want to get caught lying.
Well, YouTube titles are essentially headlines, as it is.
Yeah.
And I think the old thing for journalistic headlines was there are 100 of them. And everything else is just a variation of these 100 sentences. Anything else is a bad headline. So you even have The Verge. Yeah. The Boys limped through its last season, but it made up for it in the finale. And what made up for it is the humiliation of Homelander. They only like that it took the piss out of Trump. Every single person is doing that. The excuse for why it was necessary is essentially you had to humiliate him. Well, obviously, don't you know that strong people are really weak? Strong people don't know how to be. If you remove their strength, they're just pathetic, weak, they're vulnerable. Obviously can't get away. If you take away his powers, he's nothing. And this goes back to what we were talking about before, that because these are weak people that have never had power, they assume that people with power are just themselves. So he had to be cowardly and blubbering.
So I know nothing about The Boys. That guy's supposed to be a Trump allegory, right?
He is Trump. Now, the actor has come out in multiple interviews, and once he was asked and said, what you're showing us says you're Trump, and he went, because he knew it was bad for his career. He's like, oh no, I need to get out of the question. So he gives the things, of course, Republicans watch television too, and all that kind of stuff. So the actor isn't to blame for any of this. The showrunner, in season 1, he wasn't Trump, then Trump got elected, and he retroactively made him Trump.
That's crazy.
And not just like one for one. He says it's a 1-for-1 allegory for Trump.
Yeah,
That's how he treats Trump.
But
This is the White House that he's in right now.
Isn't that
Yes.
based on a comic that already existed
Yes,
before?
that had nothing to do with Trump at all.
And they completely ignored the comic. There are like 2 things in
Right.
the comic which are in the show, and that's about it.
That's crazy, man. That's deeply disrespectful to the source material.
Well, I think, though, the ending says more about Eric Kripke than anyone else, because he says, strong people, when you remove their power, they're faced with imminent death, they rarely handle it bravely. This has been counteracted with stories throughout all of history where, like, kings have been assassinated and stuff, they've been beheaded and all this kind of thing, and they all handled it bravely. They all eventually went, well, I can't get out of this, may as well face it on my feet. And that's something that Eric Kripke can't even stand. This was my favorite meme of it all. This has been This is the way he died. This was his final speech. Well, essentially,
Not this, but yeah, he
they
basically
turned
told
into Lords of the Rings. Yeah,
he told the main character that he would suck his dick and eat his shit on national television.
So this turned into multiple memes across the internet with every single bad guy. So you had like Anakin Skywalker after he's been defeated going, please just save me, I'll suck your dick and save, like, just please.
So wild,
and it was
dude.
humiliating everything because they didn't realize if you humiliate the villain, heroism means nothing. Like, if I beat Superman, that makes me really strong. But if I kick a small child in the face, that's not an achievement.
Yeah.
So by weakening the villain, you weaken the hero, and it basically started a load of memes and this kind of thing. Now, they've said the saving grace for this show will be the next season. It's going to be a spin-off season where no matter how bad you think this series is going to be, I promise the next one's going to be better. Jensen Ackles will save the boys. It's going to answer, or it's going to solve all the key mysteries and problems from the previous one. This is in reality, well, he says shameless bait to win the audience back. But if you remember, Stranger Things ended awfully, and people were like, it's going to have a secret 9th episode. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to fix everything. We're going to have it. There was some woman that said it's going to have an extra season.
Yeah.
That's what this is. This is the mythical season that's going to fix all of the boys.
It's a coping
wild.
mechanism. Coping instinct.
This is the guy that created everything. Elon Musk came in, and he hadn't seen the show. He saw, so this was the actual statement to the guy after he had his powers removed. And so Elon Musk said it was pathetic, because it is, that he got completely humiliated for nothing. And Eric Kripke was just happy that Daddy had finally noticed him. Someone in power had finally realized that Eric Kripke's series existed, and he didn't care that everyone else hated the show. Either side of the political spectrum wasn't happy with the show. finally, Elon Musk has noticed me.
Yep.
And in the
Senpai
final,
noticed me.
literally, in the final episode, Eric Kripke killed Elon Musk.
Yep.
He
There's a
put
part-
Elon Musk into the show in the episode and flew him to space to die.
Yeah, he's like talking to Homelander, who's like the president, about like going into space and doing stuff in space, and then Homelander just flies him out into space and kills him, and then that's like it's just like a one-off joke that goes nowhere. Even though Elon Musk does exist in The Boys because they reference him in The Boys.
Well, he's also referenced in the spin-off series of The Boys, Gen V, because there's a goat that they call Elon, and then they kill him. So
Wild,
this
dude.
is not blunt, this is not subtle satire that they're doing. So again, when Elon started talking about it, including I'm not upset, I'm just remarking that the ending sounds fake and gay. He's like, oh my god, he's talking about me! Dad, I finally got noticed by Daddy is the only thing. And then
wild, dude.
Elon gave him a free blue check mark. After everything that happened, he's like, no, I'll reward you. Oh, this was another insult he did. Kripke probably got flack from his wife's boyfriend for Homelander being used in base memes and had to write that ending as a groveling apology. This was the Joker 2, essentially. And when he said thanks for the blue check mark, he went, I gave him that because he drove so much traffic to X. So many people came to X to talk about how shit The Boys was.
Yeah.
It's like, please, you are talking on my platform and making me money. Thank you. I'm not the humiliated one here.
Yeah, like legitimately, I have every single time, and I'll just admit it. Like every time The Boys comes out every season, my tweets about The Boys blow up, and I intentionally go, you know what? I'm gonna tweet about The Boys today because I know it's gonna do well, and this was no different, and I was very happy to do so because I knew, like, yeah. You know, it just gets like a ton of attention. It pops really hard on the X algorithm, and people are ready to fight about this show every time. So, I even have what's his fucking name? Patton Oswalt. I don't care. I brag about it. He screenshotted my fucking tweet about the show being bad on Blue Sky. It was like the show's always been making fun of conservatives. Yeah, this was last season.
That's happened all the time. That's one of the copes. Oh, I think there was a Kotaku article. Elon Musk just doesn't realize it's taking the piss out of him. I'm like, I'm sorry. Do you think that the Boys is complex, intelligent satire? Do you think there's actually no one that can understand? They're going, it's the richest man in the world that goes to outer space, and nobody knows who that is.
Yeah.
It's exactly like this though. There's a weird tweet going around. People don't seem to see that fiction is storytelling. They seem to think that he's talking about real life. And there's a load of people just playing the hatchling as if they can't comprehend what's happening with The Boys. It's like, I want you to articulate how Homelander was a parody of Trump. Why do you feel that way? This is clearly a problem that you have. I don't think he's Trump. And then Eric Kripke just said he was Trump. That's why people think this.
Yes.
It is a load of people deliberately playing ignorant. It's amazing how much leftist discourse is just them pretending not to understand things, thus making discourse impossible. Yes. This sums up the entire discussion around The Boys of people that watch the show and a load of people who pretend not to have done.
Yeah.
It's like it's the richest guy in the world, and he goes to space, and his name is DeLong Dusk. It's like, how is that Elon Musk? I don't understand.
They don't even watch their own show half the time because like you'll say, hey, this is a logical inconsistency, and they go, actually it's not, and you go, no, it is, and here's why. The first season of the show is actually pretty solid. I still think it's a good season of television. It's not perfect.
No, it is.
Yeah, but it's like it just completely drops off so hard in the second season, and I was like, you know what? I'm probably just assuming too much about this, and I'm looking too much into it. Because me and Disper talked about it. He goes, no, it's bullshit. Like, and I gave it till season 3 to be like, yeah, this show fucking sucks.
That's where I went off as well. Yeah.
But it was just like obvious, like they were, yeah.
You know the reason why though? Eric Kripke has said this, that when they made season 1, Trump wasn't elected.
Yeah.
Like season 1, he wasn't Trump. Season 1, he was essentially just meant to be like a famous person that had power. Mm-hmm. That's what the character was. Then in between season 2, he got elected, and then they just went off the rails. And so he stopped being a character that they want to actually tell stories about, and started being a real life person that they despise, that they need to humiliate, and at the cost of all else. Now, the funniest part about that is throughout all 5 seasons, he's still the best character, and people still like him. And no matter what they did, he was still the favorite character that carried everything on the thing. And a lot of that comes down to, like, Anthony Starr. Now, you always hear actors complain about toxic fans, but throughout this entire thing, I've never heard anyone insult Anthony Starr. People hate the character, they hate the show, not the actor that plays him. So if people hate you as an actor or an actress, it's your fault. You are doing something to piss off the audience.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, Eric Kripke decided to throw him under the bus. He is now blaming him for the failure of the show because he's like, no, he is acting essentially like Homelander. Everyone is coming for him. He's like, no, look, I've got a human shield that you like to protect me. And so he's saying that the line that everyone hated, this line at the end, that was actually Anthony Starr's idea. He made it up. He was the one that wrote it into the script. If you hate the ending, hate Anthony Starr, not me. Which is probably, as a showrunner, one of the worst things you can do. You are deliberately making your actor a target for the audience when they're not targeted at all. We hear all the time about how they want to protect all the people that are really valuable to me. And this is a guy just throwing people under the bus.
That's crazy, man. Imagine the roles reversed. It's like, imagine that guy still having a job if he was a conservative making fun of Biden.
Oh, yeah. And
that
would be easy mode. Like, why in The Boys wasn't there a Biden figure that was just leading Vought but had lost all mental capacity?
No, because
and was just wandering around.
If there was, that guy would not have a job anymore. He's like, he would be seen as really unprofessional.
This is why I think Hollywood can never go backwards, because they genuinely don't know how. Even if now they decide that we want to do something entirely different, because every single person agrees to... You would first need a person that could even comprehend the opposite side, and then the moment they suggested it, everyone would go, but that's evil. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, how on earth are they supposed to change? Unless... This is why it's like, well, you kind of need an entirely new company with new people. Because either you fire everybody, in which case you may make a new company anyway, or you just need to entirely swing the other way and just try something radical with people that have never done anything before, essentially, or bring back old people that got fired. Because now you may have people in the industry which don't think that way, but they are also like scared, and so they're not going to want to put their head above the parapet because they'll get fired. Because
they're beholden to people that are still have that ideology and won't let anyone else like stand up and say anything different. Because like that's the funny thing is like it's not like there wasn't gatekeeping before, but it was like if you had a good idea, you were creative, then the idea wasn't to get rid of you, it was to grab you, bring you into the fold, and then just have you work for whoever was in charge. Now it's if you have any level of creativity, snipe them off the parapet because we can't have anybody showing us up because we don't have any creativity. So it's all like backstabbing and pushing people down steps and stuff to maintain position, because the second anybody shows up that is bulletproof, essentially, they've lost because they'll get steamrolled.
And like I say, it's like the bees that those bees that all follow the same way. They get their morality from everyone around them. They get the direction from everyone around them. There is no other method for them to come up with a different opinion than everyone else, and they think everyone else that went off in the other direction is wrong. And so they're incapable of changing direction or coming up with a new system. And the only people that survive in that system are the ones who just know to keep their head down. And so if you go, I want new ideas, they'll probably just suggest similar things because they wouldn't have survived in the system unless they'd learned to kind of blend in and camouflage themselves with everyone else.
Yes. Yeah,
and this is why
100%.
You will hear about people on the set who are watching things being filmed and going, this is ass, this is going to flop, this is going to bomb. But they never tell the person, you need to change this, because they get fired.
Because they get, and this is why, like, the situation that we're in, this is why the conversation keeps happening, coming up, of, like, YouTubers. Because YouTubers are uniquely bubbled out of the Hollywood, like, zeitgeist, or out of the Hollywood bubble. Like, you can influence YouTube a little bit, but you really can't stop people from watching somebody who's just talking on the internet about stuff. And so when you have somebody like Jeremy or Disparu or Critical Drinker or Gary or, anybody talking about a thing and they're saying, this is bad, this is not good, or this is why it's bad. And then people go, I'm watching this and I'm hearing a voice that isn't saying this is good. And they're giving a lot of arguments why. And then the response from the media is, no, guys, it's good because Trump. And you go, but that's not an actual excuse. So now, like, they don't have a way to cope with somebody presenting an argument against them that they don't have an argument for. Like Twitter used to just shut you down. Like if this was old Twitter, the second you criticize the boys, you probably just lost your account,
bro.
But they can't do that anymore.
It also comes down to like cost of existing. So Variety needs to make a certain amount of money, otherwise people get fired.
Yes.
And so that allows you to have leverage over them of if you lose access, you will lose money and these people will lose their jobs. And so people start to then negotiate of, okay, well, to make sure they lose their jobs, I'll do this. It's like, if you just pay me coffee money, I'm fine. And so I don't need to actually sell anything because my overheads are really low compared to like a major company.
Yes.
And so there isn't that much to hold over you. You don't need the extra massive amount of money just to survive. So there's no leverage there.
Absolutely. And that's why like the new business model will be smaller, decentralized companies that can work together collaboratively to get things done instead of it being everybody beholden to one spot to go to, because at one spot eventually there's too much overhead and then you can gain leverage. So what a mess, man.
If anyone wants a movie which has absolutely no point, no characters, no plot, and just has random action with a guy walking out into the middle of the open and as if he assumes he's immortal, welcome to The Mandalorian and Grogu, where I have seen this spawn in various different ways. It led Friday, everyone. It had the biggest box office on Friday. By the way, it is the lowest of Star Wars that's ever existed.
Really?
So, yes.
Worse than Solo.
Yes, worse than Solo. And it was predicted to be worse than Solo. So everybody knew. And that is before inflation. If you add inflation into this, it's way worse than Solo.
Holy crap.
Solo made $14 million on its Thursday box office. This made 12. Made $2 million less on a project that had 3 seasons of television before it.
Yeah.
And considering the years in between this and Solo have been like some of the highest of all of inflation of all time.
Yeah.
We're talking big differences the moment you factor that in. So yeah, Solo got 14.1. Rise of Skywalker got 40. So we are really talking like almost 4 times below Rise of Skywalker. Jesus. Slightly below that. The Last Jedi 45. Rogue One 29. This is only in a few years, 2016 to now, 10 years difference, and we have more than halved the value of Star Wars on opening day.
Yeah, I was talking to the guys on TNME that the fuck is this?
No, this is like, look, this is a crocheted Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian. I've forgotten what some of these tabs are, and he's like, oh my god, this is amazing.
It's like crackhead.
It looks like he's not slept in
Crackhead
like
Pedro
3 months.
Pascal.
That's crazy work, bro.
He's got like his teeth protruding. You have that delivered to you, and he's gonna be like, oh my god, this is amazing. Yeah, I really enjoy this.
I would feel insulted.
So would I. I mean,
no, but I was talking last week with a past stream on TNME to the guys like that it was very possible that it would be worse than Solo because back then there was still some amount of goodwill towards Star Wars. Like it was right after The Last Jedi. Last Jedi was very controversial. There were some people who were still defending it, waiting to see what they would do with the events portrayed in there with the last movie. Now they don't even have that anymore. They don't have that benefit of the doubt anymore. So I always thought it was very possible to be worse than Solo.
Yeah.
That's like one of the biggest problems they've had. It is a case of when every movie was at least watchable, so your average movie was still a fun time for a few hours.
Yes.
People would try new things. And now a new IP isn't worth seeing until you find other people about it because it'll probably be gas.
Yeah, you need the word of mouth. But I have my own crocheted person, and it is way cuter.
Much better.
Much better. So shout out to Carolyn and Metal
Genuinely
Slave.
better than Pedro
You don't
Pascal.
look like a chronically depressed crackhead.
Nope. Shout out to Metal Slave.
I mean, you might have the eyes. It just blends in with the rest of the skin color. We can't actually tell that bit. So the only thing this movie has going is middle-aged women really like Grogu. He's been in. This is one of the issues with the marketing. It is. He's in Bath.
I
Bath
thought
and
you were
Body
going to
Works or
say
something.
Pedro Pascal. I thought you were going to say
Well,
middle-aged
no,
women
because
like
he-
Pedro Pascal. No, it's
No,
Grogu.
They used to like Pedro Pascal, but then
Yeah.
it turned out that he just came out as had a boyfriend, and they
As
couldn't.
a fruit, yeah.
Yes, so they couldn't live in denial anymore. For some reason, for many years, they thought the guy that was really into girls' nails was actually straight. I don't know why.
Never fooled me.
No, never fooled
Never
it.
ever.
Even licking the light globe, the light stick, was not enough to convince them until he actually came out at a restaurant with a bloke.
Yep.
So we have a lot of things like this. Mandalorian Grogu won't lose money, but it won't rescue Star Wars. I'm like, well, what are you even saying about it? You're just like, this is kind of... It is going to lose money, by the way. It's definitely going to lose
lot
money.
of money.
But the only cope they can come up with is, it might just exist for a bit. This is how desperate we are to shill for this kind of thing. And The Mandalorian is a good Star Wars movie, but not what the franchise needs. We have now hit ultimate peak cope, where the best the shills can do is it won't destroy the franchise anymore.
It won't make anything worse, guys. Because it can't.
Nope. Yeah. It's as bad as it's ever going to be right now, guys. Isn't that good? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look, it's not gonna be the shot in the arm. It's not gonna, because there is other things coming. What's the new Starfighter?
Yes.
And I know people think that I can't remember his name, the main actor.
Ryan Gosling.
People think Ryan Gosling will save it. I don't think anyone cares. I don't think he's going to bring people into a Star Wars movie. I think he'll probably do what this is.
If they could have kept the budget low, done like a $90 million movie, they would have made money. But they can't do that. There's no, they don't have the ability, the capability. Like, somebody got upset with me about this because they're like, you think Epic might think they've lost the technology and the know-how to make. I'm like, they have. They do not know how to make these movies for under a certain amount of money anymore because they don't understand, because the algorithm that they develop for themselves doesn't account for it. They have to spend that kind of money.
Even Snow White, the original movie, Disney themselves say they don't know how to make the thing. Because one of the things they used to do, they used to use like a special light. It's like their version of a green screen, essentially.
Yes.
And it went through like a special light refractor thing, crystal, that they don't have anymore, and they don't know how to make it.
Yeah, there's 3 in existence, and one of them's
crazy.
broken. Which, shout out, by the way, the Corridor crew guys figured out how to replicate that technology.
I've
and that
seen
was
that
one
video.
of the coolest things.
Yeah.
Dude, it was mind-blowing that they figured it out. But yeah, they don't have, literally do not have the technology and the know-how. And knowing people that work in the industry, like shout out Rough Night, he's like, I know people that worked in the industry that aren't around anymore that knew how to do stuff that nobody knows how to do. They just figured it out on the fly. And if you don't encourage that level of creativity, you won't have it anymore.
That's
know?
insane.
All the 40K stuff where it's like, yeah, there's just this ancient technology on the thing. Everyone's like, how on earth would you forget technology? But we're already doing it. So
No,
like
yeah.
the banking system runs on really old like DOS computers with an ancient coding base that nobody speaks to anymore. They have to get like this guy out of retirement to come and fix everything. No one dares touch it because the entire banking system collapses around the
Retro
world.
banking, let's go. But that reminds me of trying to service retro consoles and retro computers. Like, you have to learn it from yourself, and it's like I'm lucky enough to have an old guy who fixes my CRTs, and he works on a regular TV shop, but he still knows how to service old CRTs. And yeah, we're doing great. Thank you.
No worries. Don't go back in the stream.
Yes, I covered the topics. Half an hour before the end.
Yeah. We got to the topics. That's what matters.
We did.
But yes, the technology for things. And yeah, the 40K is a great example of that. Yeah. There's just like all this stuff. And they're like, we don't know how it works. And then like essentially the people that do know how tech works thinks it's all like religious, and they pray to the machines and stuff, not realizing that like their religious servitude to the machines is just like them ingratiating themselves with technology and hoping that stuff works. Sometimes they like bang on a thing with a hammer, hoping that they're honoring the spirits, and it just knocks the thing loose. And they're like, oh, yay, the god of technology did it. And they're like, no, that's just, you know, so there's like a reality to that. Yeah.
I hope that's like Dan Vasc's future. Like once gaming has collapsed and they've completely fired anyone of any competence in the gaming industry, they'll be like, yes, but have you heard about the guy in the Brazilian rainforest who knows the ancient tombs? And they like venture through and then they come up to your house. It's like, he has the ancient tomb. They're like pulling up like Baldur's Gate 2.
After I'm dead, there's gonna be some sort of Indiana Jones character going to my house, like the last Super Nintendo in these ruins.
Found it.
You need to build like a big boulder to just come through the forest for anyone.
Put a bunch of
he
traps
grabs the
in place.
GameCube and like replaces it with a box or whatever, and then like a boulder starts.
Only the worthy can get the Super Nintendo collection.
That's actually an idea for a song that I have. I wanted to write this like epic 10-minute song about like the last Super Nintendo. And it's like in the far future, and the people like everything like being happy is illegal, like being strong is illegal, everything's illegal, and a group of bold adventurers leaves in search of the last Super Nintendo to heal the world. So yeah, one day I'll write that epic song.
That'd actually be pretty
Sounds
rad.
cool.
Yeah, I'd watch shit on it.
But Dark Sith for $20 is this Simcast gay edition of one lesbian and two gays talking about exploding stuff. Only if you touch it correctly. We did mention the boys. That's pretty much that way. Mad Frog 625 for $4.99. Elon's baby mama said he told her he has space lasers. She said she didn't know more, so she can't get deposed. And he said, "Good thinking." I'm not sure if that's a serious story or not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Might be.
It is. Yeah. So
I was looking for a joke, but I couldn't find one.
No, this is a real thing. Like we even have them, and like there's like a ship off the coast of like China or whatever, and it just has a gun on it that is a giant laser, and it's just a deterrent because if they let it off the chain, it'll just fuck things up.
Well,
like they have.
You
we
don't
have
need
weapons.
space lasers because you just have rods of God, which you just steal.
Yeah, but the problem is it's
them.
tungsten. Yeah, they're tungsten, but if you use that, you do collateral damage. The lasers are like highly precise, like high. Yeah, like literally, we have technology that can just shoot like intercontinental ballistic missiles out of the sky before they ever get anywhere near us. We just don't tell people about them.
There's a difference between drawing from an electric grid on Earth and having that much power in space. And the amount of electricity would be required to make a space laser down to Earth would be astronomical.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is why most people don't know it exists because you don't talk about it.
I don't think we have that many batteries in space. I don't think it's even.
Well, there's a reason why we've never progressed past battery activity because we do have stuff. They just don't tell you what it runs on because if they did, it would solve the power crisis. Because like the problem with like nuclear energy is you have to keep people at like a fear level of nuclear energy so that they don't utilize it because if they do, it'll solve the power crisis, and then you won't have like all these gas companies and stuff. And whatever has evolved beyond that, you can't tell people about it because if they know about it, then there won't ever be a need for any kind of power companies or power stations and power grids, and that puts millions of people out of jobs, and then that job now they can't be dependent on the government for assistance and energy assistance.
If we managed to figure out how to power a Sega Game Gear, we can power anything. That thing eats out 6 batteries in less than 2 hours, man. That's crazy.
If we have advanced past battery technology, can someone give it to Samsung so their Note 10 stops exploding? That's all I ask. Gary, that was a many-year-old phone joke. Gary Thomas for $5. I like how Eric Kripke ignores how we all knew Trump would react if he faced certain death. Butler, Pennsylvania, anyone? Yes, lots of people pointed that out, and they don't like reality because it might disagree with them. Again, MadFrog625 for $4.99. It's like Rorschach. Alan Moore hates him, but the audience loves him. He's conservative, so liberal Moore thinks that people will hate him. Yeah, Rorschach is easily the best character out of that entire movie. I don't know the comics or anything else, but I'm not trapped here with you. You're trapped in here with me. Along with his opening monologue, incredible. I will look down. And you will look up and scream, "Help me," and I will whisper, "No." It's just based.
Oh, yeah.
But Andrew Matthews, 1916 for £2, proper money. Why do modern films look dark and washed out? Color grading. I don't know why they do it, but I think it's again
they want to show. They want, since HDR came out, that's something that started happening, and they want to like also wanting to hide bad CGI. That's the thing too.
Yes, that's why it's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, part of it is that, and part of it is they don't understand color grading, and so they don't actually know how to like make color grading like look specifically good. They just assume this is what made money, so we have to just do it this way, and then they don't ask any questions about it. Otherwise,
I started to noticing that on Game of Thrones, actually. It's like,
Yeah, the
why is
battle
this
in
so
the dark that you
fucking
can't
dark? Yeah, why is this
Mm-hmm.
so fucking dark? Can't see a thing.
A lot of things seem to be lost to like audio mixing. The teenagers now have subtitles on all things because they're so used to bad mixing. They just assume they won't be able to hear audio. And it is a weird case of talent going missing, but also I think there's a desire of people, I want this to be dark and gritty because they only think that's valuable. And so a really colorful movie they think is like whimsical and pathetic, and no one will take that seriously. And so they all want to be artists rather than make a quality film.
Colorful and whimsical can be dark. Have you watched Legend?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That is a
super
colorful. That is a colorful
Very
movie.
colorful and whimsical. Yeah.
It can get really dark.
Yep. And
Which
once again,
all
we
things
bring it
used
up
to
all
be
the time,
cool.
but anime is a perfect example of the counter to that argument. Anime is very colorful and whimsical and silly until it's not, and then it's not funny
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
And MadDrug65 for 199, she simply implied that lasers were used to rig the... Well, I don't even know how that would work. It's like, I'm going to beam
lasers.
down. Yes. I mean, lasers are cool, but they have their limits. It is just light at the end of the day.
Lasers make dead people vote twice.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Somehow you can send them mail, which is a feat at any kind of thing.
Just
But we
laser the votes away.
Yeah.
But we have reached the end of the stream. Thank you guys for joining me. Mike, have you got anything that you want to announce, advertise?
I'll probably be
going
streaming tomorrow. I'm working on. I got 3 videos I got to get done, but I'm lazy. Got to do a Mandalorian Grogu thing like now before it's not relevant, and talk about the boys. I'm gonna do like probably a whole break. Like I'm not gonna do a breakdown. I'm not doing breakdowns. I can't do a breakdown. But like I'll probably just talk about the whole last season of the boys, and then eventually that'll lead into me talking about the rest of the boys because I have to keep talking about the boys because I hate it. And then I'm also working on a 3rd idea. So in between streaming. So that's what I got.
Awesome. And Dan, what have you got coming up?
Nothing much, man. If you like heavy metal, check me out on Dan Vasc. If you like retro games, check Super Vasc 3D, both on YouTube. Thanks for watching.
Shout out. It's been 3 hours. What are you talking about so soon?
Yeah.
Yes, this is the length of the stream. Some of the streams run really long. Others, it's to the time. And so as this isn't X-Ray Girl, I'm not going to keep... Like, Mike and Dan have been very generous turning up as it is, saving me so this wasn't just me, just on my own
fun,
going,
man.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So, yes, thank you both for joining. Thank you to the viewers for tuning in. And
My pleasure.
I'll see you on the future. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Bye.